Hi and welcome along to DR Sports. We are here for the F1 today in Bahrain.
Come on.
Matt is in the building as well. Today's F1 brought to you today by Manscaped. Don't forget, you can get the lawnmower. You know, the lawnmower 4.0.
Do you know what? I don't. I need you to get me one of these.
No, that's not the lawnmower.
Yeah,
this is the lawnmower. This is the lawnmower, mate.
Come on.
Right?
This is everything, isn't it? Back, sack and crack, I've heard.
Well, you don't have to go too much information there, right? But if you use the code DR Sports, you can get yourself up to 20% off, right? So make sure you check it out right now. Courtesy of Manscaped. They're sponsoring today's F1 off circuit.
Come on.
Listen, I am looking forward to this race today. First race of the season, right? So don't forget, as I said, just for watching this, 20% off. Use the code DR Sports and there's free shipping right now for Manscaped.
Come on.
We're here.
We are here,
We're
baby.
here for the first race of the season, Matt. It's so good for you to be back, mate. And
so good that we're doing this. Do you know what I didn't even realise, which is terrible? You know who my football team is? You remember that from last year?
Were you Liverpool?
No, good Lord, no, I hate Liverpool. Sorry,
Forest.
guys. No, Southampton.
Oh, yeah.
And we're clashing right now. 3 o'clock kickoff with Man City.
Yeah.
Massive respect to you for putting the F1 on over that. Come on.
Well, we could put it on to...
No, this is serious. This is real. This is race 1. What a quali yesterday.
Yep. Wow, the qualifying was brilliant, and the Ferraris are back.
We said it midweek as well, which I'm pleased. It's nice when it works out like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes what we say is a load of bollocks. It's nice that, you know, we're calling out Ferrari and 1 and 3, Robbie.
Like you saying Verstappen's going to finish, what was it?
In the mud, yes, 4th.
Well, he's on second.
Yeah,
he's on second. You know what I'm really intrigued to see is the fact that, you know, as we were discussing in the preview, the cars are different this year.
Big
so
time.
What they're saying is going to be more overtaking, there's going to be more close driving up together. So
exactly.
How important is, you know, the actual, you know, qualifying going to be? Well, qualifying's always important.
I hear what
your
you're saying.
grid place, how important is it going to be if these cars are going to be able to race closer?
Well, let me say it this way. Shout out all the off-circuit guys on Instagram. Love you as always. A lot of the guys, we run a predictions thing on a Sunday morning. A lot of people predicting George Russell to work all the way through from 9th up onto the podium. Now, I don't know if that's wishful thinking from some Mercedes fans or what, but you're quite right. If what we've been sold about closer wheel-to-wheel racing and more overtakes and more being able to follow each other in that dirty air, then actually we should see a bit of a madness and a bit of a shake-up in the midfield. That being said, we can't take anything away from Kevin Magnussen in that Haas and Bottas in that Alfa Romeo. They're up in 6 and 7 today, Robbie, and they're not going to want to give that up. Both of them have got something to prove here. K-Mag back in Formula 1 maybe for the last time. You know, he's got to show something if he's going to keep his seat. And Valtteri Bottas, obviously, after his sort of bit up and down time with Mercedes, imagine him finishing higher than George Russell in an Alfa Romeo.
Got a super chat here from my father. He says, one time, please, one time. Charles Leclerc, last win, 924 days. The Italian GP in 2019. I was there.
Yes,
I was actually at that race. It was unbelievable. That was at Monza. Ferrari last win, 910 days. Singapore GP 2019. Sempre Forza Ferrari. Just to go through the grid. Leclerc starts on pole.
Come on.
Just behind him is Verstappen. Then another Ferrari of Sainz, Perez in the other Red Bull in 4th, and Lewis Hamilton down in 5th. Bottas, as we know, no longer driving in the Mercedes, but in 6th place. He'll be really happy with that.
Unreal.
In the Alfa Romeo. Magnussen in 7th, Alonso in 8th, George Russell all the way down in 9th, Gasly in 10th.
Big.
Those are your top 10 on the grid. How are you feeling about this? Could we see, as this guy there, my father is saying, a Ferrari win today?
Very, very real chance, guys. And I think it's the first time we've been able to say that with any confidence for years. Even in 2019, it was the odd win from Ferrari, but they weren't up there and in amongst it from the get-go. If you're a Ferrari fan, if you're a member of the Tifosi out there, get excited today. You've got a real chance of not just 1, but 2 podiums today. You know, and anything could happen. We know Max Verstappen's got that little aggressive edge to him. You know, if he starts lunging in on the first corner and puts himself out of contention, you know, the Ferraris, they're in the driving seat right now. They really are.
Yep. Adam222 says Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas. Right? Right. That I can't see. Hamilton was really downplaying any chance of even getting anywhere close to the guys at the front.
It was. Now, we're seeing again with the Mercedes, the story has been they don't have the car, they don't have the pace. Were they sandbagging, were they not? I think we can say with confidence after yesterday's qualifying, they're definitely not sandbagging, but what they are doing is starting to find a little bit of pace, where they can push the car in what areas, and basically how they can do their best this week and probably next week before we really see them come with something special maybe for the Australian Grand Prix. I wouldn't rule Lewis Hamilton out today of a sneaky podium. I've said it, I've put my neck on the line there and said it on ours. I think Lewis has an outside chance of sneaking into third place today.
Riaz says the grid walk is back. Of course, one of the things that we've been really missing has been the crowds. And
absolutely.
In Bahrain, the crowds are back in, so that's brilliant. And the Spaniard says, I want Hamilton and Southampton to lose. Right? I love how salty Matty got when Verstappen won the championship.
Get away with you. Don't bring Southampton into this. They're the darlings of the Premier League. We can do that FA Cup game today. Let me just say that here and now. Imagine Hamilton wins, Southampton win. What a day that'd be.
That'd be a bit of a madness, I think.
It would. I don't know what's more likely, Southampton beating City or Hamilton winning today. I think Southampton have got the better chance, you know.
Maybe Hamilton. Right. Marcus says, when do you think the Mercedes will turn up? The car looks awesome to look at, but clearly something is missing.
Yeah, listen, I don't doubt personally, and a lot of people I know are saying this, I don't doubt that the Mercedes will find form. They will get it right this season. 8 constructors' titles in a row don't happen by accident. I think they're starting on the back foot. It might take them 2 or 3 races. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know, Saudi Arabia is only next week. There's not a lot of time to fix. Then we get about 10 days off before Australia. So Australia might be the first opportunity for Mercedes to really make some major changes and start getting it right.
MTMMCG says Hamilton and Sainz for the podium. Earth Extremity says that's Matty's real hair.
Yeah, that is it. That's Post Malone's locks, baby.
Adam222 says first 4 to 5 races will be interesting. Then after that, others will catch up. And then NR11, he's going Sainz, Leclerc, and Verstappen. A few people there for Sainz.
Yeah, listen, Sainz has definitely attracted the attention of people. I don't know if it's through the Drive to Survive era or what. Yeah, a lot of people are split on whether Leclerc is going to be the lead driver at Ferrari or Sainz. For me, I think it's Leclerc. I backed that early on in our first episode of the pre-season stuff this year. But yeah, I mean, Sainz, if what some people are saying happens, if Max and Leclerc go wheel to wheel on the first corner and have any form of collision, Carlos Sainz is absolutely the man who's then going to come and sweep in and take the lead. So for me, it's going to go down to how aggressive Max is going to be, and then whether Charles Leclerc's experienced enough to avoid a collision, or whether we're going to see, you know, an error and a slip up there between the two.
Keep those comments coming in, guys. Loving it. Big Steve says, I don't even like F1, but the energy of this show keeps me actually hooked.
Oh, come on. It's great.
Hamilton is washed, says the Spaniard. Vinnie Rowley says Hamilton for the podium. Let's go, Matt, says Ryan. Luke C says absolutely buzzing for the first Grand Prix of the season. Matt is fabulous. Love how passionate he is. Quali was so interesting. We will see if there's any incidents on the first lap. You know what? I would like you, Matty, just talk us through some of the changes. I know we spoke about it in the preview to the F1, but some of the changes that have been brought in, the cars straight away look different.
Very different. I mean, the biggest one, hey, look at this for props. Are you ready?
Yep.
Biggest change, Robbie, because he's well connected, guys, has brought us in. This is a genuine wheel from a Formula One car last year.
That is a genuine.
That's from Williams, right?
That is off the Williams car from last year, yeah.
Unreal. And it's actually mad light. I'm not a strong guy.
It is so light.
Now, this right here is one of the major changes in Formula One this year. The diameter of this wheel is 13 inches. This year, Robbie, we're at 18 inches. I mean, with my hands, we're probably coming way out here all the way around. Massive difference. Now, that is to basically help us with a lot more grip to be coming round the corners quickly and following closely, because on top of that, the real difference is all about the aerodynamics in this car. They have completely redesigned the way that the car punches a hole in the air and distributes that air to make sure that these Formula One cars can follow each other more closely. What we've had in the last turbo hybrid era, the last 8 or 9 years, is effectively cars so well designed at punching a hole in the air that the air that it kicks off the back is called turbulent air, dirty air. It means that it's almost impossible for a car to follow at full potential behind. So what we're trying to do is say, okay, well, if we got rid of that, does that mean that the cars can follow each other more closely and we can see more overtakes? How cool's that?
That is cool. That is cool.
Great work from you. You've got another one down there, haven't you?
This bit here. That was a bit that got me.
That's
going.
cool as well.
So what's that called again?
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, when they get in the car, that's what they
just
put
clip
over
it in
them.
there.
Yeah, so I think that, of course, came off the Williams as well.
Amazing.
So,
I don't know if that's like a head guard. Then it's something to do with stopping the wobble from all those G forces. That
thank you very much to Williams for those bits.
Yeah,
we really appreciate that.
Very cool.
We're looking to do something at Williams' factory as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That is going to be major if we get to do that. They're just interviewing Max Verstappen there on the screen. He looks very, very cool. I have to say, I listened to him speaking yesterday.
Yeah.
He looks a lot more relaxed than he was last year.
Yeah, he does. I think what's going to be a big help for him, not being on pole is not going to be his biggest concern. He is on the front row, but Lewis is down in 5th. And I think psychologically for him, he's thinking, really, if Lewis is in the mud this year, then actually I can go racing with the Ferraris and, have a good time of it there. Yeah, I think you're right. He does look cool.
King says Hamilton is finished. Sadly, geez. Don't write off Hamilton yet. Ali Jones says Hamilton bottled nothing. The championship was stolen from him. Interesting that, we don't want to keep talking about last year now that things have moved on from that. But interesting that they've actually come out now and said it was human error last year and that race shouldn't have ended like that.
It's funny, isn't it? I think in a court of law situation, you would have the opposing counsel then really press them to go further with that, because they've come out and said it was wrong, but then they've said, but it was human error, everything still stands, it was all very valid. It's almost a very safe, sat on the fence statement for me, Robbie. I kind of look and go, yeah, come on, like, if we're really honest, are we going to go as far as apologising? No, they haven't done that. Are we going to go as far as, I'm not saying we should alter the result, it's done now. I think even Hamilton and Toto Wolff said, we don't want to change the result here. But it's funny, isn't it? It was almost an admission of guilt, but without an apology. I thought...
Yeah, and the thing is, when you do an apology, you leave yourself open.
Yeah.
And talking of apologies, there's the man himself up there, Toto Wolff, of course. He's famously threw those headphones down last year and was really, really angry when that result went against the Mercedes. But now it's a new season. They just got to get on with it, haven't they?
Absolutely they have, yeah. And you know something, you want to know about the resolve of somebody like Toto Wolff. If you did watch Drive to Survive on Netflix, I know I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that, but we'll talk about that another time. The final line in the final episode was basically, we're coming for you, from Toto Wolff. What a way to end it.
Mihal says Hamilton lives in his head rent-free. Adam222 says, Robbie, are you back in Haas again?
Oh, yeah.
Remember last year I picked them out of that? Bloody hell.
Yeah, I really do. Now let me just talk about Haas really quickly, because there's a lot of people that are saying, Robbie, out there, what is it with Haas right now? How can they go from scoring no points consistently year after year to being in a position where all of a sudden they're in 7th place? This is Kevin Magnussen driving Mazepin's car. That was a joke of a car last year.
Yep.
Well, it's all about the drivetrains. So, hey, we're having a bit of fun on set here. Earthquake. It's all about the drivetrains. So basically, there's only a few people who actually make engines. Haas don't make their own engine in Formula One. Mercedes make engines. Ferrari makes engines. Red Bull are now taking over Honda's engine manufacturing, and they'll make their own. So simply put, what you saw yesterday, when we say Ferrari are looking quick and they're looking amazing, that should trickle down to mean anyone with a Ferrari engine is doing well. Well, guess what? Haas is powered by Ferrari, baby, as is Alfa Romeo. So Bottas and K-Mag being up there is something that we can expect to see more of this year if that Ferrari engine truly is as good as we think it is.
And of course, they don't have Mazepan.
Well, fucking it up for him, yeah.
Him and his dad sanctioned. So the Russian, no Sochi Grand Prix either this year.
Absolutely.
which takes place in Russia. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah, gone, and it's they've actually not just this year, they've cancelled the whole contract. I think we had 4 more years there, but
you know what? I love the names they've been. Remember last year they were calling you Post Malone.
Oh, I've had it. Oh, come on, we got a new
Post Malone.
Yeah, come on.
Prix Malone, they're calling you now.
That's fucking brilliant. Do you know what? I've had a few. I got one on your video last week as well.
Prix Malone, I love that one. Big up for that.
I got somebody jump in the comments and say, this guy Matt looks like an unqualified electrician. I said, firstly, the electrician's one thing, but why am I unqualified? Why? That's so harsh.
What's an electrician look like? Anyway.
Well, apparently he's a big lad with long hair and a tash.
Ferrari drivetrain is the reason, says Shan Gunners, and like what you said as well.
Absolutely.
Chivian says, bro, this guy knows his stuff. This Prix Malone's got it all down, man.
Nah, not all. We don't know everything, but listen, we're all just here, and I think we say this a lot on the show, but we're here for all of you guys, and to make sure that no matter whether you've been into F1 for 20 years or 20 minutes, we want you to be able to come and enjoy it. And I think too much F1 content, Robbie, is intimidating. They get too down into the geekery of it. I think we just want to enjoy it for what it is.
Simplify it.
Absolutely.
Benji here with a good point. He said they literally saved 50 million from the new regulations. That was another reason why they brought in these regulations, isn't it? Because
absolutely.
They want to reduce the cost.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's a worrying thing for Mercedes fans out there. One of the rules that's come into place is there's now going to be a freeze on engine development for a few years. So they can't just keep coming in and building a bigger engine and different and changing it around. So that means, again, it's going to get locked in if we're not careful. If it is an engine problem with Mercedes, which we don't believe it is, I think it is about the aerodynamics of the car and the vents. But if it was an engine issue, that means that Mercedes are going to be off it for years and Ferrari are going to be up there for years. So it was really important for 2022 that the teams really and truly did everything they could to get the car right this year, more so than any other year.
What's the best looking car on the track?
Oh, for me, it's between two. And it's controversial, this, because I think you'll differ to me here, because they're both from Italy. I think the Ferrari is the best looking car out there.
I agree with you.
But in
best
second place,
car.
and it's a close second for me, I think the Alfa Romeo is stunning. It's got this psychedelic 60s, like bubble lettering of Alfa Romeo on the side. It's red and white again. I think it, honestly, I like the curvature, and my favourite bit of it, it's got the Italian flag on the back of the rear wing. So when you see the car from behind, you see that Italian flag. I really love the look of it. I feel like you're maybe a Silver Arrows guy.
I like how the Mercedes looks. I do like it. I do think the Ferrari, especially those little grills on the side of it. It looks, it's lovely.
And I just like how it's so fat and it sort of curves in.
Yeah, that's the best car. That's the best car for me. I like the Williams, man.
We were saying this before the show.
I like the Williams. I like the colour.
And I'm sorry, for me, the Williams is bottom 9, probably. I think it's right down there.
It's not just because they gave me the wheels, by the way.
That helps, Once I start giving those stuff, watch me change my mind.
But I do like the colour. I do like the colour of the Williams. The Alfa Romeo is nice.
It's beautiful. Beautiful looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I was disappointed in the McLaren. You know, that split opinion. Some people really liked it. I thought it was a bit of a boring design for me.
Yeah, it is the Ferrari for me. It just looks so nice. Blue Monster says, greetings from South Africa.
Hey.
Come on, Ferrari, he says.
Come on.
Come on, Ferrari.
What did we say midweek? It doesn't matter whether you're a Lewis fan, a Max fan, Mercedes, Red Bull. Everybody wants to see a strong Ferrari. The sport needs it, Robbie.
Jonas says the Alpine.
Oh yeah, listen, the Alpine got a lot of hate from our little community on Instagram. I don't hate it at all. I quite like the pink car that we're seeing now. I like it in its blue colours as well. I'm just worried for them as a team, and I'm not so sure that the car's great. But from a livery point of view, no, I'm all in.
So you
Yeah, I like it. I think I put it 5th out of 10, if that gives you an idea. I think, for me, the top 4 was Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, and then that Aston Martin. I think they do a good job. OK, well, listen, we're about 5 minutes away from the race starting. Come on.
It's time, Matty.
I knew it was coming.
Give us your 3. Give us the podium. Starting from 3rd place. 3rd place.
Don't tell me what it is in my gut saying this, but last time we listened to my gut was Brazil last year. I'm saying Hamilton will sneak onto the podium. I think it'll be very close, and I think he's going to need some fortune for that to happen. I am saying that Lewis is going to damage control, get up to 3rd place.
2nd place.
Second place, purely from a heart's desire. I'm not going to go all out and say that Max Verstappen's going to crash out, and that's what some people are thinking. Just get off his back. I'm going to go with Verstappen to hold second. And that means that I am going for a Ferrari win. I think Charles Leclerc, if he can just manage out the opening few laps, I'm hoping that he can pull away and have a drama-free race. You know, normally we want to see the lead changing for it to be exciting. I'm happy for it not to be exciting and for Charles Leclerc to get the opening win this year.
Okay, I'm going a little different as well. I'm going third place, Max Verstappen.
Oh, yes, Robbie. We're on the same team here.
Second place, Carlos Sainz.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
First place, Leclerc.
Okay, Ferrari 1-2.
Ferrari 1-2.
Wow. We haven't seen that.
Verstappen in third place.
For those of you with your phones then, tell me, when was the last time we saw a Ferrari 1-2 in a Grand Prix? My guess is it's Vettel and Raikkonen around 2018
that's a
time.
while.
But it could even be longer than that. It's been a long time since we've seen it consistently happening, that's for sure.
Mr. R says Verstappen has the best race pace. We're taking this. Listen, you can't write off Verstappen. I just got a feeling for these... I've got a feeling for these Ferraris today.
For the love of the game, we want it, don't we?
What's the race start and Verstappen discussions?
It
just leaves everybody miles behind.
Yeah, we might have jinxed it now.
Huh?
We might have jinxed it now. That's
we might have jinxed it. Everyone's saying Singapore 2019.
Oh, there you go.
It was the last time we saw a Ferrari 1-2.
Great.
Look at that track. It looks beautiful lit up there at night time, doesn't it?
Oh, come on. Stunning. 3 DRS zones, Robbie.
Yeah.
That's pretty unusual for a Formula 1 track, but... Hopefully, you know, 3 DRS zones, cars that could supposedly follow a lot closer. This could be a madness, Robbie. Start to finish, we might not be able to keep up with it.
NN says, is purposing still an issue?
Porpoising.
Porpoising,
yes,
sorry.
it is, for sure.
And just explain that once again. This is the bounce they're all
exactly right,
about, isn't it?
So a porpoise is like a dolphin. It bounces through the ocean like that as it's diving through. And effectively, what's happening with the way that the cars have sort of been redesigned is the air that's getting underneath that big body, underneath on the floor, is basically driving the car up into the air, and then the downforce is dragging it back down, and it's causing the car to bounce and scrape along the road. Very uncomfortable for the drivers over a Grand Prix, at least, and obviously massive loss in time, basically, in speed going forward. It is still an issue. What we have seen is there is a fix for it, Robbie, and you're seeing now, one of these days we'll get a little model car so I can demonstrate it, but what we're seeing now is towards the back of the car, 2 little metal rods that have been fitted that basically connect the top of the body down to the floor of the car. That's giving the car a bit more rigidity, which is supposedly a bit of a fix for the porpoising. We've certainly seen Mercedes and others do that. We're not going to know really until we get into the depths of this race whether it's worked.
Daniel Ricciardo again, and Lando Norris, the McLarens.
There's
a
2
real
things.
Tough time in qualification. Isn't
Really tough, and I think there's 2 big topics we haven't talked about yet, and that is McLaren and Aston Martin when it came to yesterday's qualifying. Yeah, Danny Rick down in 18th. My opinion, just not good enough. You know, clearly the car's not great, and I understand that, but Lando Norris again consistently doing better than he is, up in 13th place, which isn't brilliant from McLaren's standing point of view. But yeah, it's going to be a long year. It's going to be a really long year for them. And then Aston Martin.
Why is that? Last year they were so good.
They were so good, but the cars are totally different. It's a complete refresh, you know. McLaren aren't going to be as bad versus last year as Haas are going to be good versus last year, you know. You talk about a team that couldn't do fuck all last year, and now all of a sudden they're starting 7th on the grid. It's a totally new year that we're going into here. Completely new.
Well, it's amazing. They're showing Lewis Hamilton.
What a helmet, by the way.
He's got a brand new helmet.
Do you like that?
Yep, I do like it. It stands out. Bright yellow helmet he's wearing this year. They're also showing Carlos Sainz there. He looks really focused. Big races for the Ferraris because, you know.
Massive.
By the way, we didn't really mention how nice the Red Bull looks as well. I think that's another nice looking car. You like that?
Yeah, listen, I think it's very similar, obviously. One thing that stood out for me, I like that long yellow nose. They've extended the amount of yellow on the nose there. I think it looks good. I'm happier with that than I am the McLaren, for sure. Looks like we've got a poll going in the chat, guys. What we want to know then, before this race kicks off, and this is the big one, which team will take the most points today? Will it be Red Bull? Will it be Mercedes? Will it be Ferrari? Robbie, I mean, for me on that one, I've got to hold out and say Ferrari then.
Well, we've got in the poll over 1,265 people have voted already.
Oh wow, come on.
42% going for Ferrari, 27% Mercedes, 31% Red Bull.
Okay, so fairly even between the Mercs and the Red Bulls. I have to say, advantage Red Bull between those two, but yeah, Ferrari overall.
Benny says on K-Mag WDC 2023. Wow.
Imagine next year, world champion. That would be something.
And Bottas is back, baby, says Liam Hebson.
Now they've tried to hook us up, Robbie, with a bit of something here, a bit of commentary. That'll help us out, won't it? We were in the dark a bit last year. Now this should be just a formation lap here. This
formation lap is just about, well, it has begun, and off they go. This is the first. You know what? I can't wait, right? Because it's been all about, you know, just seeing the cars racing on their own.
Yeah.
In, you know, qualifying and racing on their own in testing.
Yeah.
But now they're going to be racing against each other, and this is what I can't wait to see, right? Who is going to come out on top? 57 laps. Once again, people, that is how many laps it's going to be. Let me just remind you of the standings, of how they line up in the race today. If I just get it back up here again.
Not memorised it yet.
Well, I know Leclerc is on pole. It's Leclerc on pole, Verstappen right next to him. Then it's Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Bottas, Magnussen, Alonso, Russell, Gasly, Ocon. Those are the top, well, that's the top 11 actually, right? It's going to be really interesting to see how this is all going to pan out. Are the Ferraris going to really make a big statement here today, or is it going to be Verstappen and Hamilton as usual? Can Hamilton get up on that grid? Can he get into a good position? Get a good flying start? It's going to be really interesting to see. Has Hamilton just been bluffing us with this car?
Honestly, I really don't think he has. I think Mercedes are in a bit of a battle here. It's a shame. This is what we said last year, that Lewis's teammate is not up there with him today. George Russell's got a big job to work his way through that midfield. That is not breezing past a Haas and an Alfa Romeo of last year. That is breezing past a Ferrari-powered car in midfield. So that's going to be tricky. But for me, Robbie, I think it's going to be all eyes on the very beginning for the front two rows. Can we avoid a collision as we get down into the turn one? And last year here, it was turn 3 that we saw Mazepin spinning out of the way. So can we clear the first few corners without an incident, or are we going to see a safety car from the get-go?
Let's go. It feels good to have Ferrari and F1 back, says South London's finest B. Sorry, F1 back. And Jonas says Verstappen is a very aggressive driver. He sure is.
Oh, Robbie!
Right, they're getting ready.
It's been 100 days since this has happened last. Come on!
Wait for this. The lights out is coming up.
We're lining up. By the way, Aston Martin in the bin. The evil Stroll Empire, starting both of them down in the bottom 5. Let's see if Nico Hülkenberg can surprise us today.
And they're showing the Red Bull garage there. Christian
Horner.
Horner.
He looks focused, doesn't he?
He looks focused.
He's got his frown on.
The Ferrari garage. The familiar red of Ferrari. They're just taking their formation. Matty looks excited here.
I'm gassed for this, mate. We're back. We're back.
We are back.
Come on, Lewis. Lewis isn't used to having that much traffic around him at a start as well.
He's not used to that at all.
Down in 5th place. It's going to be really important that he avoids collision more than anything here. Buy your time for later on, son.
Right.
And Max is going to look to get ahead from the get-go here.
All right, Matt's going to talk us through this as we make our first start of the year for the Bahrain
Green flag.
Prix.
Here we go, Robbie. 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go, baby. Come on, Ferrari. Get a good start. Lewis is moving already. I think he's done Perez early on there. Leclerc's done great to cover off Max. He's got the inside line.
And
Great driving.
Is in the lead at the moment.
It's all Perez is sliding. Lewis has got the inside line. Let's go, Lewis, for 4th. Great start from Lewis Hamilton. K-Mag's done it as well. The Haas has got it done.
The Ferraris are in the lead at the moment.
K-Mag, get off Lewis. Get off Lewis.
Oh, they nearly touched there.
What an opening few corners here.
Few corners, no crashes. Everyone survived it though.
Kevin Magnussen, Perez is in the mud already. 2 places down, Robbie, after 4 or 5 corners. Yeah. And Kevin Magnussen in a Haas, no less. He's right up there.
Maybe I'll change my mind from last year. I should get the Haas back for this year. Haas in 5th. It's unreal.
Now, my old mate Boloclus Bottas looks like he's not found his testicles this year. He's dropped way down into the mid. Where are we? Down to 14th place there. A lot of people were feeling like actually Bottas was going to come up and maybe have a podium shout. I say definitely not.
But is the Ferrari in the lead? The Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Second place is Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, and Carlos Sainz in the other Ferrari in third. Lewis Hamilton's jumped to place in fourth. Magnussen in the Haas.
Can you believe it? Fifth place. Gunther Steiner right now is like...
unreal.
You can fox smash my door anytime, he's saying. Come on.
Mazepin's at home sitting there thinking, whoa,
livid.
No.
Absolutely livid he is. Yeah, he's thinking, my dad paid for this car.
But you'd have probably crashed it now. That's the only problem, isn't it?
Well, what a start.
What a start. What a start.
Ferrari, I'm proud of them. We're into lap 2. They're still 1 and 3. A lot of pressure from Max Verstappen early on, but Leclerc, Robbie, when we see it again, he did so well to come across and crucially take the inside line for turn 1, which is what Max would have been hoping that he would have had going into the first corner. Good
start for Lewis, says Riaz.
Fabulous start.
And also Bottas had a bad start, says Liam Hebson. Wow, unbelievable. Bottas. A lot of people bigging up Bottas. Bottas in 14th, says Kevin Ball. Right, everyone's slacking Bottas.
He's dropped 8 places,
Bottas
Robbie.
has some troubles with the car, says Kai.
Okay.
Awesome start. Come on, Sainz, says AS Beats.
Now, Mercedes are going to be looking right now. This is all about gaps that are going to develop between the cars. So, George Russell, you can see, has made his way up from 9th to 6th. A big winner from Bottas falling down, no doubt. He's now going to be on the back of Perez. Can he get past Perez in order to be able to start assisting Hamilton? That's his job this year.
7th he's in.
Yeah, can he get up to 6th, as we say? Can he get up past Perez, get up there and start getting on the gearbox of Kevin Magnussen? From a raw pace point of view, Perez has got a better car than Russell this year at the moment, so that is definitely not a done deal.
That Ferrari's quick.
It is quick, but look, Max is right on his tail still.
Right on his tail. But you know what? Leclerc is a quality driver. It's not like...
Yeah, he is. He is.
You're not looking at like a, you know, sort of... He is one of the drivers that over the past couple of seasons everybody's been talking about and
Absolutely
saying...
right.
If he was in a better car, he can test Hamilton and Verstappen.
If we talk about a metaphorical passing of the baton from the older generations, we've had the Hamiltons, the Alonsos, the Raikkonens. Leclerc is very much part of the future.
There.
Come on, K-Mag.
It's some problems there for the Haas.
That's expected. This is a man who's not been racing in Formula 1 for a year. And he's great defending, though, but Perez looks like he might just be...
Perez is all over him.
Really good wheel-to-wheel driving.
Again, Perez is coming up on the inside of him.
Come on, K-Mag, just keep that inside.
Oh, they've come really close.
Yeah,
And
good
Perez
Perez
has got in front of him. The Haas has dropped back a place. And that was great driving there by Perez.
It really
He's
was.
Up into 5th place.
Now, everything, Robbie, that I said to you about it's important that Russell moves through to help Hamilton. The same is true for Perez. He's got to get up there to assist Max Verstappen today. And here's your start. Look at that. Charles Leclerc straight across, aggressively across the front of Max Verstappen, just to ensure that he had the inside line and the favourable sort of driving line to get through the first few corners.
Hamilton did brilliantly.
Yeah, he
on that
really
start,
did.
didn't he?
Squeezing Perez.
Squeezed Perez out.
And
really,
K-Mag really took his opportunity at that point.
Really aggressive driving. Really aggressive driving.
Oh, it was
Keep up the good work, guys, says Joe Burrows.
Oh, come on, Joe. He's a regular.
Huh?
He's a regular with us. Legend. Wow. Fair play to Max Verstappen, though. He's done everything right. He's not put a foot wrong at all there in holding second. There goes Lewis, look.
Great start.
Comes outside of Carlos Sainz coming into turn 1, so he's got to go the long way round, but that's him hoping that Perez is not going to quite get it right on the inside. It leaves him the room, but then now he knows he's got the inside line for turn 2. Really clever from Lewis Hamilton to ensure that he did Perez.
I'm just interested, Matt, to see how much overtaking we are going to have.
Yeah.
Because we were told that there's going to be lots of overtaking this year because of the new design of the cars. Haven't seen a lot yet, but I'm going to be interested.
On the contrary, I think the midfield's moved around a little bit, and we've seen that little battle from K-Mag and Perez there. You know, I know Perez ended up getting him, but if we see that they stay close to each other, the question's going to be, does that gap become much bigger? And if it does, that could be a sign of turbulent air still. So we're seeing right now there's a second between Perez and Magnussen. Oh dear. Engine braking is doing funny things in the corner, reports Max Verstappen in second place.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I could never go by these guys because it's like they say these things all throughout the race. Hamilton does that as well. They'll be whinging and moaning and talking about this is wrong with the car, this is doing this and that, and then they still come through and win.
It's all gamesmanship, isn't it?
There's a lot of gamesmanship in it.
Now, Charles Leclerc's holding on here. 1.4 second lead over Max Verstappen. Up in the lead there. Then look at the next biggest gap there. Carlos Sainz is a whole pretty much 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen in third place. Lewis has got DRS on Carlos Sainz, so he'll be reeling him in lap after lap. Is his wing open right now? It looks like it is. So Lewis just not letting Carlos Sainz get away there. Oh, here we go, George Russell making a move for Kevin Magnussen. He's too far back, but he's got the inside line.
He's coming up on the inside.
I tell you, Magnussen's letting him through there.
He's passed him. So that's another one through. George Russell, good manoeuvre by him. Although Magnussen's trying to come back at him now.
I think Magnussen will be disappointed with himself there. He's just gone too deep on his brakes. It's pushed him out a little bit too far wide and really just opened the door to say, George Russell, come on through.
Ricciardo down in 20th.
Oh, it's outrageous.
What is
down
going
at the back.
on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
In fact, yeah, we've not really had our eyes. And Lando Norris dropped from 13th down to 18th. McLaren in the mud, Robbie. Now, let's bear in mind they're on the medium tyre. You can see on the graphic down there, they're the only car on the grid with medium. That simply means their tyre should degrade slower than the rest of the grid. They'll be able to stop later. So they're on a different strategy to everybody else. And there it is, look. Watch Kevin Magnussen on the left here. He's just gone far too wide, too deep on his brakes. Means he wasn't able to make that tight
Is that the inexperience of him not being, you know, just sort of coming back into driving?
Exactly right. Knowing the limits of his car, you know, and let's not forget, he missed the first round of testing as well. Like, he has had less time in that car than anybody on the grid.
Anyway, it's still Leclerc up front on his own, followed by Verstappen. And it's Sainz in the other Ferrari in third as it stands, with Lewis Hamilton in fourth and Sergio Perez in the other Red Bull in fifth. Bit distance between them all. And the Ferraris look like they've got good pace, but here comes Hamilton. He's back
right on his gearbox.
Right up on the gearbox of Sainz.
Come on, and now we're seeing these Alpines, the pink Alpines. I'm not mad at them.
I like those. I like that colour as well.
Yeah, it's cool. Now, look, we talk about how close it all is. Look at the back of the field there. There's 10 cars all in a battle. Come on, Mick Schumacher.
By the way, Matty, a lot of people in the chat saying Man City are winning 1-0 against Southampton.
You're kidding me. No, don't do that to me now.
Sorry.
You're killing me. Now, yeah, we couldn't expect to win that game, that's for sure. So, I concede there. Wouldn't it have been nice, though, Southampton-Middlesbrough in the next round? Wouldn't that have been a good semi-final? Bloody Chelsea City.
Anyway, it's a bit like Formula 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
The big boys.
The big boys will win.
You're what? Haas?
I'll take Haas this year, yeah. Well, this year's Haas, not last year's.
No, you're McLaren this year.
That puts, I'm going to say Arsenal, what, Alpine? Somewhere mid-table?
No, we're Ferrari, man. We're Ferrari, we're coming back.
Top?
Not
no,
top, but we're coming back. We're re-emerging. We're re-emerging.
I love that.
Oh, so happy that F1 is back, says Lewis0.
Come on.
And Rohan Gulliver's reporting a 5-second penalty for Ocon. He did have that little manoeuvre a little bit earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still Leclerc, the leader.
And here we go, Lewis again. That DRS is open. It's not making as big a difference, I'm noticing, this year as we've seen previous years. Lewis has had 3 laps now of DRS on Carlos Sainz.
Is that because what you were saying earlier as well about the year?
It really could be. You know, if that air, dirty air, as it were, if it really has been solved there, then actually it's maybe that the DRS is just slightly less effective. Oh, and here we go. Big move from an Alfa Romeo here. Is that Guan Yu Zhou, the rookie on Mick Schumacher?
And he's passed him as
Ferrari versus Ferrari engine. Great move. And that is a rookie right there, Robbie. That is somebody's first ever Formula 1 go.
Brilliant.
Up against a Mickey Schooms that's had a year. Latifi back in the mud, look, dead last.
Normal service resumed.
Absolutely. Now let's see, it's actually even more exciting in the midfield. We're seeing everything from almost, if we call it that top Aston Martin of Hülkenberg, everything all the way up to Gasly is kind of in a train following each other around the track there. It's not the usual massive gaps that we're seeing.
Joe Burrow saying McLaren, Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo not looking good.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo haven't had a great start, but before the race we were saying Alfa Romeo are almost a little step above those guys.
Yep.
I'm fascinated to see how Guan Yu Zhou does now against Bottas. Is he going to put a challenge on his teammate, or is it going to be respectfully leaving him ahead?
Oteng says Lewis slowly reeling Sainz in. And
slowly though.
Will McLaren's gamble M tyres pay off?
Yeah, it could. I mean, it depends.
What is the M tyres?
Yeah, the medium tyre. Yeah, so what we're saying here is that effectively McLaren can go a lot longer than the entire rest of the grid before having to stop and change their tyres because they've got a harder compound tyre than the rest of the grid. The question really is going to become, if there's no safety cars, if there's no anything else, and they manage their tyres well, then yes, we could see them make up some places, but being realistic here, Robbie, they've got to do half the work themselves. They've got to put themselves 10th or 11th to be able to then use that advantage for the points. I don't think that's
on
the come on.
Make a move on the Williams there.
Yeah, Alex Albon. Look at the difference between Albon and Latifi.
The two
7 places.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And look,
what does that tell you, the driver?
Yeah, I mean, for me, and yet Alex Albon is back in Formula 1 again this year. He's, he should be treated really as a newbie versus his teammate Latifi, who's had years at Williams. Yep. He's got to go this year, Latifi.
King97 says, like Toto said to Hamilton, it's a different animal when you are being the hunter.
Absolutely right.
And
here we go. That battle is continuing. There's a train now. Can both Alfa Romeos? Bottas looks like he's going to get the move here, is he?
JDTV says...
Here comes Bottas. We're not really seeing the best angle for it, although we're riding on with Guan Yu Zhou. Bottas has now done Albon. Come on, Guan Yu Zhou. What a camera angle, Robbie. You like that?
Angle. I like that angle. By the way, JDTV says F1's relegation battle might be Zhou, Latifi and Stroll.
I mean, hey, listen, we're saying that, but Zhou's up there.
Zhou's doing all right.
He's doing great. And here we go now. He's reeling in Alex Albon. Some of that, Robbie.
He's right up on Albon.
And it has to be down to the car. We know that Alfa Romeo is a better car than that Williams. We already know that. Williams, unfortunately, are powered by Mercedes. Doesn't look like it's got the same edge that the Ferrari engine does. Come on, Guan Yu Zhou. They've all got DRS, so it cancels each other out. But can he make a late move on the brakes coming into turn 1? He's having a look. No, he's backed out.
Yeah, he can't get up on it. I liked this comment that I saw here. Avic says, does Matt have Toto and Horner in your ear on the headphones?
I do. I've got all sorts in there. I should be saying, shouldn't I? Just turn it on now, lads.
He's got. Don't throw those headphones down like what Toto did last year. You know what I mean? Jason would go mad. Jason would go mad. Stroll got a sugar daddy, man, says AS Beats. And Bottas talking nonsense yesterday. Look at him now, says ASG.
Absolutely. Normal order resumed in that regard. Now, we want to talk about gaps. There has been a significant change in gap, and that is between Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. Lewis now 2.2 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. It looks like Ferrari now, that front three are going to start pulling away. Perez is very much on Lewis Hamilton's gearbox there.
Time for a beer.
Like it. Oh, we're seeing Nico. No, don't lose it out to Daddy Stroll's little lad. I was loving the fact that he out-qualified Stroll.
Well, Stroll's passed him now. He
has, although we're not going to celebrate 17th and 16th. I think, get up the field, lads. Now, George Russell, again, he's 4 seconds away from Sergio Perez down in 6th place. It just shows the Mercedes is definitely...
Is that Perez going past Hamilton? Is that Perez? He is. He's up past Hamilton. That's Sergio Perez there. Up past Hamilton. Hamilton's coming back at him. But Perez is past Lewis Hamilton there. Big move. Hamilton drops down into 6th place. Fifth place, correction, 5th place.
Big move. So this is now almost how qualifying was looking yesterday. Before that final lap from Bottas and K-Mag, we're seeing the Ferraris in 1 and 3, Red Bull in 2 and 4, and Mercedes together again in 5th and 6th place.
And the Red Bull is away, and it's just showing that Lewis Hamilton wasn't bluffing. The Red Bull is definitely, and the Ferraris, way stronger than Mercedes at the moment. Mercedes does not have the pace.
It's a good move from Perez,
Great
really clean.
move by Perez.
Just bought his time there, hanging behind him, and now he's thinking he's got that extra bit of drag, he's got the toe, they call it. And light work, nothing Lewis could do about that.
Great bit of overtaking there by Sergio Perez, and he is past Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, Guan Yu Zhou, he finally made that move. What a move! Robbie, this is a rookie.
Yep.
His first time in Formula One. We didn't see anything from rookies really last year. It's nice to see him coming out and flexing. And there you go. Charles Leclerc now, Robbie. 3.1 second lead over Max Verstappen.
Really showing that he's got the pace. Definitely not looking like it's going to be Mercedes day to day as regards getting a podium. They are definitely off the pace in this race at the moment. It is Leclerc who is, the Ferrari is looking so good. And this is great for F1.
It really is.
Great for F1. We you know, we don't want to just see two cars.
No, we don't.
Going head for head for, you know, even though last year was brilliant. We do want to see other cars in the mix. McLaren was in it last year a little bit. But Ferrari definitely look like they're going to have a big shout this year.
They really do. I mean, to kick off, after a season like last year, to kick off with Ferrari on the top step, I just think, wow, what a statement that is that we're in for a treat this year.
Oteng says, hats off to Grandjew. Good start for his F1 debut so far.
Yeah, brilliant start from him. Yeah, it's... you know, I don't know what else we can expect from him. Bottas seemed to suggest with his pace yesterday that the Alfa Romeo is capable of being in the points today, in the top 10. So, you know, should we hope for Guan Yu Zhou to be making his way up there? And if he does, at the expense of who?
Yep.
Oh, Max Verstappen, 0 traction, he's reporting. Go on, slip off the track, Max. Let's get a bit of excitement going.
Mark Harper.
Oh, now here we go. Mercedes look to be going early. Now, Robbie, crucially, some of the success to Mercedes winning 8 back-to-back Constructors' Champions is the fact that their pit strategy typically has been very good. Now, that started to wobble a bit last year, but this is really interesting. Lewis coming in early. He's going for what we call an undercut.
Yep.
Okay, it's a good stop, good and clean. We don't get to see, is it a 2.4, I'm guessing there?
Very quick stop there.
Now, this is crucial for those that are wondering, well, what's the point? Why has Lewis gone so early? Effectively, what we're trying to do here with an undercut is come in earlier than everybody else, put on that hard tyre, and now come out, and it's important that he puts some shit hot fucking laps in, and by the time the guys in front of him come in and pit, he may well have been able to overtake them on track.
But he lost it a bit there.
Oh, here we go.
He's sliding around. He's sliding around, Lewis. Not a good start
and it's Guan Yu Zhou.
And he's just lost the place. He's just lost the place. He lost all grip.
Now look at him. Can you see him wiggling? He's trying to get some warmth in the tyre.
Trying to get a bit warmth in the tyres.
Wow.
He's dropped down into 12th place. Maybe that undercut hasn't worked out at all.
Well, we're going to see. It's going to be really important now that he's able to put his foot down. Once the tyres are warmed up by the end of this lap, it's now going to be about seeing if he can really push that car and start setting some fast laps. I'm not so sure that the Mercedes has got it.
Sliding around all over the place there, lost all grip on the track.
Wow, he really did. Now, do you want to know the significance of that this year, Robbie? Is you've noticed that they wrap the tyres in those tyre blankets.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the process of phasing out tyre blankets in Formula One. This year, they are turned down until the point where they'll have none. Now, if you add together the fact that we're now on an 18-inch rim, it means we've got a bigger tyre mass to warm and we've got less heat from the blankets. These tyres are going to be a lot cooler when they come out of the pit lane. I think that's going to catch a few people out. So you think
you could see a few people happening to today?
I guarantee
when they come out too fast and then they're all over the place.
Hamilton radio.
No grip on this tyre, says Hamilton. He's reporting. So he's going to have to give it a few laps to get some grip into it. If that's going to be the case for all of them, that is going to make it... He's still all over the place. You can see him.
He is.
Although he is coming back at the Alfa Romeo in front of him.
Guan Yu Zhou.
He's right up underneath him.
Let's
and
go.
He's past him. But he still looks uncomfortable in it, but he has got past him. He has got past him. But Zhou's coming back on the inside.
Good racing.
It looks like Hamilton's away. Hamilton's away.
Good racing, though, from Guan Yu Zhou. He's not let it go. No, he's coming back at him now.
He's coming back at him.
Oh! Good for him. He has grown up, no doubt, watching Lewis Hamilton winning world championships, and now he's here in Formula One, giving him a bit of stick. It's great. Good work. Now, interestingly for Mercedes, they had a choice of 2 tyres. When you start on the soft, you have to use at least one other tyre compound. You can't go soft again. So they could have gone medium, they could have gone hard. They've chosen hard. That tells me that Mercedes are maybe thinking that they can go all the way now and make this a one-stop race. But Lewis is already saying
that will get him to the end of the race.
Yeah, theoretically, the hard tyre is capable of doing that 38 laps or whatever it is that's left. But of course we don't know, and Lewis is going to be the only guy really who knows that right now on track.
Nobody else has come in yet.
No, I think they're going to be another few laps, and Mercedes might just well have gone too early with this one, but we'll see how it goes.
Well,
Red
as
Bull,
it stands, it's
we're going to
still
plan
Leclerc.
B. Okay, so Perez, whatever his plan A was, that's out the window. They're going for plan B.
Look how nice that Ferrari car looks. It does
really
does look good.
Stunning.
Leclerc still in the lead, 3.623 seconds ahead of Verstappen in second, Carlos Sainz in third, Perez in the other Red Bull in fourth. It's George Russell now in fifth. He didn't come in,
no.
Very interestingly. Magnussen in sixth, Gasly in seventh, Ocon eighth, Tsunoda in ninth, and Bottas in 10th,
up to 10th,
just ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
Now, it's interesting. Mercedes historically have always favoured sticking with the same strategy, and they say, no, if this is the best strategy, then both cars are going to come in.
Williams just came in there.
They've clearly decided today that they're going to split strategy, which I find really interesting. But really, where we're going to spice things up here is what Ferrari are going to do. And Robbie, if I'm sat on the Ferrari pit wall right now, I'd be bricking it a little bit. Because if Leclerc comes in...
Sorry to stop you there.
No, you're fine.
Now, I just want to see how he does on those tyres.
Now, he's got medium rather than the hard.
So a bit more grip. He's got a bit more grip there. Yeah, a bit more grip. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, so as I was saying, basically, it's going to be Red Bull are just going to step back for a minute, I would imagine. Oh, is this Max Verstappen?
It looks like Verstappen, yet. Verstappen coming in.
So now Ferrari are going to decide, are we going to react to this quickly? In my opinion, they should. Charles Leclerc should be coming in on this next lap as he makes his way round.
What's he gone on? What tyres he gone on there?
Yeah, really good there.
Those are the hards as well, aren't they?
I didn't see it, but 2.9, that's a little slow, actually, as far as Red Bull are usually concerned.
A lot of cars coming in now.
Now, that's interesting.
Verstappen comes out. There's the other Ferrari coming out.
Carlos Sainz, I think they've gone the soft again, Robbie. I think Verstappen, so they're committing to a two-stop strategy here, and Verstappen and Carlos Sainz have said, OK, soft tyre, we go again. They will now have to, legally, stop again in order to use a different tyre compound. I wonder, Robbie, whether...
these are softs.
And I wonder whether they basically looked at Hamilton's performance on the hard tyre and thought, nah,
sliding all over the place and said no.
Absolutely. Now, Charles Leclerc, it's crucial in my mind that he now comes in and at least matches the pit stop there. I don't see the sense with leaving him out there. Why would you risk it? Yeah,
this is a good thing, though, where you've got another driver, and we didn't see this with Bottas last year, but we're seeing it with Sainz here, where he can come in and match up what Verstappen has done.
Absolutely right. Now, he's a long way off him still. He's a good 8 seconds behind Verstappen. But you're right, it puts them at least under that little bit of pressure. And now it's going to be the same in reverse. So Verstappen, Sainz has covered Verstappen. Is Perez now going to be covering Leclerc and saying, OK, well, I'll take... Oh, Hamilton, sorry, he's interrupted us there. He's not happy at how early Mercedes brought him in for his pit stop. And he's not going to be happy to learn that the rest of the grid are running the soft tyre, I don't think.
Yeah.
Here we go, Charles Leclerc. And it is the soft tyre again, that red soft tyre. So the top three are all the same, and here comes Sergio Perez as well. So it should just come out as it was. George Russell committing to a pit as well. What would you do if you're Mercedes now? Would you match the rest and go for that?
Oh, he's gone on a different one.
Medium tyre for Perez.
Medium tyre.
Now that's interesting. Oh, wow, and Max has really closed the gap. Look what's happened there. That's the undercut working perfectly for Max. He's gained 3 seconds in one lap.
He's right up on Leclerc.
And don't forget, Leclerc's tyres, they're not as warm as Max's are right now. This is a huge opportunity for Max Verstappen to use his DRS and get around Charles Leclerc for the lead of the Grand Prix.
The strategy has worked out perfectly. Red Bull, the masters of the strategy last season.
And really look like they're leading again. Really are.
It's working out again, and this is a critical moment in the race.
Come on, Charles Leclerc. Just hold out, pulling away a little bit.
Oh, Max is right under him.
As soon as Max goes through the DRS detection zone, there it is. Max's DRS is open. That's giving him an advantage. Reeling him in.
He really is reeling him in. Leclerc under enormous pressure now. Enormous pressure on those medium tyres. Max Verstappen boom, right on him.
Boom. Great camera angle.
JDTV says Mick as a Ferrari reserve driver, if he gets a chance in Ferrari, he will win. If he moves to Ferrari, Pietro Fittipaldi replaces him at Haas.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I don't think there's a seat at him for Ferrari for another few years yet. And Max Verstappen has just gone fastest on track, right up the gearbox. Now he's making a move down the inside.
He's gone, and it's a great move by Verstappen.
Great move from Max Verstappen.
Great move by Verstappen, and he leads
Leclerc.
the Bahrain Grand Prix. Brilliant driving by the world champion Max Verstappen. Leclerc's coming back at him, though. Leclerc is coming back.
He's got to get round him.
He's got round him. What a manoeuvre.
Great driving.
Great driving. This is what we want to see this year. Overtaking, and we've just seen it again there.
Wow. Robbie, the significance there of Max when he took the lead, he pushed Charles Leclerc out, not in a naughty way. I'm not accusing him of anything, but he came in and said, this is my corner and I'm having it. But Charles Leclerc wasn't fazed by that, and he managed to just keep the right driving line to be able to take him back 3 corners later. What a great bit of racing from these two up the top.
Brilliant driving. Max Verstappen.
Here we go. Watch him here. So Max now, he takes the inside line and then watch him pull to the left, forcing Charles Leclerc out. It's really good driving style from him. And that's him owning the whole part of the track going into turn 1 there. This will be a better angle for it. So you see he's inside and then he forces on the outside. And then on the brakes to make the first corner. But Charles Leclerc just gets a beautiful run out of turn 1.
Brilliant driving.
Great
from 2 fantastic young drivers. And we are seeing a good race today. We really are.
Did you hear the crowd roar for Max Verstappen? Oh, sorry, no, you didn't. Sorry, yeah, the crowd seemed to be really behind Max Verstappen here.
And
he's not giving it up. He's going to go again at turn 1.
Here comes Verstappen at him again.
And that DRS, he's going to have that for a little while. And here we go. Same again. Wow.
Same again. Right
diving down the inside.
Dived up on him. Leclerc
Same again, Charles Leclerc.
Back. Not this time. Verstappen's in front.
Come on, Charles Leclerc. He's right up on him again with DRS.
Again, coming back at him.
Come on, Charles Leclerc.
Leclerc. Back again. And Leclerc's back in the lead. This is great driving.
It's brilliant driving. Wow. Can we have another 20 laps of that? That's fantastic.
Fantastic driving.
And you know, credit to both drivers there. You know, Max gets a little bit of a reputation for causing collisions. Absolutely no danger of collisions there, but they're still able to go wheel to wheel and not give up.
ASG's got Leclerc with the fire emojis. Damn, the Ferrari is serious, says Rover. Jack Napier says, let's go Leclerc. And ASG says,
I saw that.
Matt hates Max.
Listen, not intentionally, but I think, you know, it's great for Formula One that Ferrari are back, and I'm making no secret of it. If Lewis isn't in contention, then come on, Ferrari. Wow. But Max has not let him go, though, still within DRS, so
coming back.
Expect to see it again as we get to the end of the first straight again.
Driving, these two out front.
Yeah.
On their own now, aren't they?
And fair play, Charles Leclerc keeping presence of mind to just, okay, I'll come back at him on turn 2 and 3.
He's still got to come in though, doesn't he?
No, he's come in. Yeah, they've both pitted. They're both on the top. They've both got to pit again. And look at that now, actually. Charles Leclerc's just built a little bit of gap. There shouldn't now be the space for Max. I'm saying that as he reels him in.
No, he's back on him.
He's come out of nowhere.
And right
That's
inside,
a big lock up though. Charles Leclerc's got him.
Big lock up, and
yes,
the crowd has gone back at him again. Big lock up there, massive lock up there by Verstappen.
Max is getting angry.
He needs to be a bit more patient, doesn't he? There's still a long way to go.
He does. Now, he maybe thought, actually,
19th.
that he'd be able to come back at Leclerc like Leclerc was doing on turn 3 and 4 there, but it hasn't worked out for Max this time. Fair play, though. He's got to try something different. You know, it hasn't worked 2 laps in a row.
57
Let's
laps
try
running
it
on
again.
lap 19.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does he need to do that this early?
I think there is something about leading the group. Once you get in the lead, you can then get ahead and build a gap.
Peace and Love says, what position is Lewis in and what's he doing wrong not to be in the top 3?
Sometimes it's out of the driver's hand. I'm not so sure that Lewis has done anything wrong here. This is just down to the Mercedes car is not built quite as well as the Ferrari and the Red Bull.
That was a massive lock up.
And is there a flat spot on that tyre? I'm just going to have a little look in there, Robbie. There is. Can you see as we go round?
Yeah.
There's a little black spot there. Now, flat spotting does mean that he's going to lose grip on that tyre very quickly.
A bit of grip, yes.
That's going to force Max
That's
to
what I was saying. Why
earlier.
make that manoeuvre that early?
Yeah, it was
Still
a risk.
a long way to go.
It was a risk.
You know,
but we want to see it as the fans.
I'm just saying, for a driver of his experience,
Yeah.
why? All right, I get what you're saying. You want to get ahead,
Yeah.
and get a little distance.
He'll be seeing it as once he gets past Charles Leclerc once and for all, he doesn't have to think about it ever again.
Anyway, back in the DRS
now,
zone.
no DRS now. Great work. Charles Leclerc's just done enough to keep ahead. For those that want to know about DRS, you're only awarded DRS if you are within 1 second of the car in front when you go through the detection zone. So crucially, Charles Leclerc has managed to put himself 1.2 seconds ahead of Max, and that keeps him sort of within safety now, from those lunges anyway. Wow, Mick Schumacher has just overtaken Lando Norris, both on the medium tyre, down for 13th. Oh, come on, Joe. Yes, Lando actually falling back there. I don't know why I'm saying yeah. I like Lando, I like McLaren, but...
that was a big lock-up there for Fernando
Big lock-up as well.
Massive
My goodness.
JBTV says Matty should work on the F1 VAR legal advisor team.
Yeah, keen. Max, 50-second penalty for showing up.
Anyways, as the race stands, Leclerc is still out in front. He's leading in the Ferrari, followed by Max Verstappen in 2nd place. Big gap between them two, and Carlos Sainz in 3rd in the other Ferrari. Sergio Perez in the other Red Bull in 4th. Lewis Hamilton in 5th. He's on the hard tyre. And George Russell in 6th on the hard tyre as well. The two Mercedes, the only 2 cars on that hard tyre.
Yeah, now...
Can they make it to the end of the race?
There's a stubbornness about Mercedes' strategy, almost an arrogance that says, listen, we fucking know what we're doing. And I think something's up here. The rest of the grid used to copy Mercedes. They were seeing them as on a pedestal. The rest of the grid have said, no, bollocks to the hard tyre. We're sticking soft or we're going medium. It'll be fascinating. They will be up in contention. Let's not forget, they're going to save 20 seconds by not doing a second stop if they can go all the way on that tyre. So... yeah, I don't know. There's still that outside chance that Mercedes have got something up the sleeve here. Crucially, by the way, Sergio Perez has just gone fastest man on track on the medium tyre. So we're maybe seeing more speed in the medium than the soft. That's against the script generally. That probably tells us that in the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 laps, we might see the front 3 come in and put that medium tyre on to make it last till the end.
Loving the show, says Bien and Swang.
Oh, come on.
So thank you very much. And Perez 1FY says, can someone tell Mercedes to improve Russell and Hamilton's cars? It's a work in progress as they go throughout the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it really is.
You can be making little improvements here and there.
You can, and you know, one might argue that because they know the car's not there, they have to do something different strategy-wise. You know, it's maybe not that the hard tyre is the play. It's maybe, listen, Russell, Hamilton, we think you're good enough to make that hard tyre last. If you can do that, we're going to give you a better chance of being able to come for a few more points today. Maybe the podium's out of reach now with the pace of those Ferraris. You know, they're so far ahead of the rest.
Ramesh says, where are all these Ferrari fanboys come from all of a sudden?
It's true, yeah, out of the woodwork.
Listen,
like Man U fans.
Ferrari over the years has been the #1 team.
Yeah.
So, Ferrari a bit like Man United, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I really do.
In that, like, they are the biggest.
Football needs them to be big.
They just haven't done anything for years.
Yeah.
Bit like Man United.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think it's a really good analogy because it's iconic as well. I was saying to your guys this morning while we were setting up, Charles Leclerc came out and he had his, you know how they have the race suit where it's buttoned down and you can see the underneath, and he's walking around with all that Ferrari merch, and I just looked and went, that's iconic. Yeah. That Ferrari kit, do you know what I mean? Like that Man U kit, you know, it's...
That's not iconic.
It's iconic, Robbie. I sound like a Man United fan, don't I? I just want to say I'm not.
Dave Mike says, Prix Malone's energy and love for F1 makes me stay.
Oh, come on, I love that.
I love the Prix Malone name.
I do as well, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. JDTV says, Ricardo ain't overtaking for the past 20 laps now.
Yeah, outrageous from Danny Rick. Actually, one of our followers who lives over in Melbourne let me know that the headlines on the back pages of the local newspaper, it's Perth actually, I think, where Danny Rick is from, is Danny Rick washed up? And I thought, that's what I was saying to you midweek. I think if he doesn't start proving it early on in this season, I think the question is going to be, Danny Rick, does he belong in Formula One?
Jack Napier says Leclerc is Arsenal. And Anthony Abraham says Red Army.
Yeah,
Red Army.
Sounds like some Arsenal fans there rather than...
Tevin says Alpine would be Arsenal.
I agree. Now, can I give a shout out here to my guy Yuki Tsunoda? I've always loved him, Robbie. I loved him even more after seeing his episode on Drive to Survive. He just had a real comfortable race, locked into 11th place there. We know that the car's not quite finding the same form that it was last year, certainly in the qualifying. If he can put it in the points today, I'd be really, really happy with that if I was him. He's got to get past the Alpines, and Ocon's going to be not going to give that up without a fight.
So still Leclerc in the lead, from Verstappen in second place, Sainz, Perez, Hamilton and Russell. Not often you see a race where the two Mercedes are down in 5th and 6th, but that's where they are at the moment.
Oh, do you want to hear some heartbreaking stats, Robbie? Mercedes on that hard tyre, they're currently running 1 second a lap slower than the top three.
Wow.
And now the gap, if you look actually, they're 30 seconds behind the podium. That's a whole pit stop. So actually that hard tyre strategy really has not worked out for Mercedes. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see them come in and put the medium tyre on somewhere around lap 30, just for them to be able to have any chance of mounting an attack. 30 seconds down.
Wow. Albon there, showing Albon there, getting the better of Lando Norris. The McLarens, they're the other car that has really gone downhill.
Yeah, and that's not helpful lockup.
Lewis Hamilton, they're having a lockup, they're showing there. So it's not a great day at the moment for Mercedes at all.
Listen, it could go from bad to worse, you know. We're either going to see them on nasty, slow, hard tyres and try and make it all the way and be sliding all over the show, or we're going to see them have to stop again and come out down 11th or 12th with a whole midfield to work through again. So I think either way, it's looking doom and gloom for Mercedes today.
Definitely, definitely. They did call it before the race.
I think we said that Mercedes would be sort of 5th or 6th, didn't we?
Yeah. Gordon says Lewis is finished. I don't know about finish.
Nah,
this
come
is
on now.
race one.
It's race one.
Remember last year he was down as well, wasn't he? Until and then he just came back near the end, and you know,
exactly.
Just started winning race after race. So long way to go in the season, but listen, you always want to get off to a good start if you can. And
you know something as well, Lewis kind of likes being written off. He likes people doubting him because he comes back.
Don't forget to subscribe here to DR Sports.
Come on.
If you're loving the content here, like this video as well. And also subscribe to Matty's channel, Off Circuit. The link is in the description. He'll be keeping you updated with everything F1. I'll be over there a lot as well, so make sure you check it out. Subscribe to Off Circuit. Link in the description right now. Make sure you do that.
Come on. Yeah, we have a good old time over there. We're doing watch-alongs for all of the qualifying, all of the races. If they're not here, we've got them over there. And yeah, Robbie, I'm looking forward to you being on the show tonight as well. I think we're going to have a lot to get through.
Watch along to every single race. If it's not here on DR Sports, it will be over there on Off Circuit. So you won't miss a watch along to any race.
Come on. Now, is it Bottas? Yeah, Bottas just starting to reel in Yuki Tsunoda, starting to creep back towards the points. Just goes to show, actually, we talked about qualifying, Robbie, and the significance of it. And, you know, if they're going to run closer, is it less important? Well, Bottas is maybe proven as more important. You know, he qualified in 6th place, dropped to 14th. He's only managed to recover to 12th since dropping. So it does seem to be very important, that early bit of qualifying pace. As Kevin Magnussen started 7th, still 7th in that Haas. Great performance from him.
It's the AlphaTauri.
Oh, there you go. Tsunoda up 5 places. They're just giving him a shout up now.
Well, Leclerc still leading the race at the moment as things stands. And he's been driving a very good race so far. And has fought off Verstappen, and he...
Twice as well.
Yeah, looks to so far to have weathered the storm. But we're only, you know, we're not even halfway through yet.
No.
So
now, as we're approaching halfway, it's important to say that, oh, here we go, Bottas just trying to mount an attack on my mate Yuki Tsunoda. Get back. Oh, no, Yuki's binned it there. He's gone wide. Oh, dear. Why have we cut away from that? I think Bottas is going to get that done, is he? Here they come. Oh, great work, Yuki Tsunoda. Yeah, as I was going to say there, Robbie, just checking in just before the halfway mark. Charles Leclerc, crucially, is once again 3.7 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen. So it's showing Ferrari definitely have the pace when they're out in the clean air. But crucially, there is going to be at least one more pit stop from the guys at the front. Max Verstappen nailed it the first time round to come through and close that gap.
Amira says, why is the Mercedes so bad compared to the others? Surely they did their research.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult to know until you get on track, until you get into racing conditions. Yeah, look at the draw this year. They've done a lot of research. They've completely gone with a radical no side vents. You know, I think they've put all their eggs in that basket. And right now, it's probably fair to say it hasn't exactly paid off. They maybe should have stuck with the wider body side vents.
Date Mike says, question as a new viewer to F1. Do teams look for one person to win over another?
Interesting. What does he mean? What, like, is, for example, Mercedes cheering for Ferrari rather than Red Bull?
No, I think what he's saying is, you know, for instance, Mercedes, do they care if it's Hamilton or Russell who wins?
Oh, okay, between their own drivers.
You know, do they care whether it's Sainz or Leclerc or Verstappen or Perez?
I think depending on the team, yes, I think they do. So for Mercedes, probably the most obvious example. Yeah, I think I'd go as far as saying that George Russell probably has written into his contract, push Lewis forwards.
Yeah, and we saw it last year with Perez.
Yeah, absolutely.
On many races, it was
absolutely
your job is to get Verstappen over the line.
Exactly, and then if you do a good job of that and you show you've got pace, then your day will come. But it is not this day.
Matty's favourite's having a shocker today, says ASG.
No, I don't know. Yuki Tsunoda, he's just jumped up into 10th place. I'm happy with Yuki, if that's who you mean as a favourite. If you mean Lewis Hamilton, then yeah, he's had better days.
Kevin says, are teams allowed to go back to the cars from last year? Well, no, they can't. Those cars
absolutely not.
Now.
Yeah, this is, with the regulation change, they now have to be built to the specification of this year's rules.
SUV says, new to F1, what's the formation lap for?
I love that. Yeah, formation lap, just to make sure that the cars are running, they get a bit of heat in the tyres, so it's a little bit of a favour, because once we start, they're basically hitting the ground running, trying to get up to 100 mile an hour, and then braking into a corner. If the tyres are ice cold, they're all just going to slide off and do what Bottas did last season. So the formation lap's just making sure the car's tickety-boo and getting some warmth into the tyres for that standing start. Now, Perez, crucially, still the fastest man on track. It's telling me that, you know, people have really gone for the soft tyre, but maybe the medium tyre is the best tyre for this Grand Prix.
JDTV says, Mercedes equals Man City, Red Bull equals Liverpool, Ferrari Man United, McLaren Chelsea, Alpine Arsenal, cheeky, Williams are Spurs. Do you see a resemblance, Robbie? You are evil. That's what I say. And I've got some other good news for you, mate.
Oh, come on.
Southampton 1-1.
No way!
1-1. Southampton 1, Man City 1.
Tell me it's Jimmy Ward-Prissy with a free kick.
It's an own goal by Laporte, apparently.
Oh, my days.
Right, so
we'll take it.
So
come on,
there's hope for your drivers yet in this race.
Come on. Do you know what? I'd sacrifice a Lewis win for a Southampton through to the semis. Now, Max Verstappen's just jumped on the radio, Robbie. You don't like hearing these messages. He's saying his tyres are done. They're dead. Oh, here we go. Mercedes in the pit.
Mercedes back in the pit again. You did call it.
It's going to go medium.
You did say that they are going to change those tyres.
Here we go. Now, that's a fast tyre, Robbie. Not a great stop. 2.9 is it, or is it 3.9 hour? We've got a graphic covering the screen.
So that is proof then that they've got their strategy all wrong then, isn't it?
I think so. They've tried something, and you know, you don't try, you don't get. But now Lewis has got to turn that medium tyre on. If he's going to get even back up to 5th place, he has to make that work.
He's back on his radio again.
Oh, here we go.
He seems to be having some problems.
Lewis's radio has just come on and said it's important that we don't push this tyre too hard on the outlap. In other words, just nurse those tyres. It's a long way to go on a medium tyre. He's got, what, 29 laps to do on a medium tyre. That is a big ask.
And that's... that was a replay of Lewis Hamilton coming in. It was a slow change, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And let me just throw this in there. You want to talk, it's easy in hindsight now. Lewis only did, what, 10 laps on that hard tyre? He might as well have gone soft and had the pace.
Yeah. Hindsight.
Here we go, McLaren battling Williams at the back. What a stinker for McLaren. You want to talk about teams that have got the car wrong this year.
Yeah,
These guys all the way in the mud. Lando Norris running in last place with a hard tyre that we know is a crap tyre.
He can't get past Latifi.
No, this is Danny Rick on the soft tyre.
Maybe he is washed. If he can't get past Latifi, here he comes.
Yeah, he's got the inside. Now. Oh, what a shame. I don't want to see McLaren battling down at the bottom this year.
Latifi's coming back at him. No,
wow.
He's away. I think he's away now. I think he's away. Just away. I like that Williams, man. How can you not like that car? That looks nice.
Do you think so?
That colour's nice.
I don't know that it is. Two-tone blue. Nothing stands out on it.
That's what I like about it. It's classic.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I think it's really dull. I'm trying not to overly be harsh to it, you know?
I like it. Sorry, Robbie, United are nobody. Arsenal or Ferrari, says JDTV. And Mercedes are slow on the track as they are in the pits, says King 97.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not been the perfect day.
It's been a disaster for Lewis Hamilton today. It really has so far. And Jonathan says all the Mercedes engine teams are not performing well in this race.
No, exactly that. You know, and that's we started this stream by talking about the manufacturers of the engines, and it very much is the dawn of Ferrari. It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
Nothing beats a Ferrari engine.
Oh,
cry Hamilton is finished, says King. You know, I know they're all coming at you as well, you know, because, you know.
He is not finished.
Cody says, how's George Russell doing?
He's down, but he's not out. Russell in 5th. He's still on that terrible hard tyre.
He's going to have to come in and change that, though, isn't he?
He doesn't have to, but yeah.
Peace and Love says, I think all the new cars look saucy. I like them a lot.
Now, interestingly, we're just hearing Ferrari starting to say to Carlos Sainz there, the medium tyre is performing better than expected. So we might be expecting to see the two Ferraris into the pits in the next few laps. But if they can make the soft last a little bit, it's going to be really, it's kind of down to Max Verstappen again. If he comes in, then Ferrari will come and cover it. But if Max stays out, then Ferrari will be happy with that. They've got the gap right now. Now, Lewis, look, jumped all the way up to 8th place on that medium tyre. If we see a purple lap from Lewis, if we see him take fastest lap as the cars are burning fuel and getting lighter, that's a very good sign that Lewis could actually be pushing the top 4 again.
Joe Burris says, if you could bring anything back to F1, what would it be? For me, it'd be the V10 engines, he says. I loved the screaming.
Yeah.
I did love that.
I mean, it's never going to happen in a million years with the sustainability stuff, but yeah, I'd miss the sound. Do you know something then? Here's something I'd bring back. I'd bring refueling back.
I used to like refueling.
It slows down the pit stop, makes it 4 or 5 seconds, which means the jeopardy for a bad pit stop becomes, you know, it really can change how the race goes. But you know the other major difference that people forget, when you don't have... Oh, and here we go, Max Verstappen for the medium tyre.
Verstappen's in the pits. Verstappen in the pits again, on to the mediums.
Now, Charles Leclerc must cover this straight away, Robbie. We learnt that last time. Max came out with a really good lap last time round and managed to get the undercut on Charles Leclerc. If I'm Ferrari, please, guys, for the love of God, cover it straight off with Charles Leclerc.
Verstappen.
And there's the Orange Army. There's more orange shirts than ever.
Is Kune.
He wishes.
But the Orange Army and Verstappen back out onto those medium tyres. So again...
Box, here we go, Charles Leclerc. Get yourself in the pit, son. And Max now, he's got to push that medium tyre if he's got any chance of just closing the gap. He was 4 seconds behind Charles Leclerc before the pit stops. We're going to see, Robbie, now. This is the exciting little moment. How close is that gap going to be? Are we going to see Max Verstappen coming down the main straight as Charles Leclerc enters the pit? They can't afford a slip up here in the pit lane, can't Ferrari?
Going to be really interesting. He's gone in straight away. They said box for him to go in and cover it off. Marcus Wynn, why did they try the hard tyre for Lewis? It was clear it was a silly decision. It
was clear after the fact. But here we go now. Leclerc's coming in. This is crucial now, guys, for the outcome of this race, that this goes smoothly for Ferrari. I wish we could see the graphic where you can see where on the track Max Verstappen is right now. But come on, guys, quick stop now. Medium tyres going on. Great stop.
That was a quick stop. That was a very quick stop.
2.5 seconds. Fantastic stop. Is that enough to keep Charles Leclerc ahead of Max Verstappen? I think it is. Here they come. Wow, yes. It's going to be close. Charles Leclerc can now go full speed.
He is going to be ahead, and he is ahead.
And what we're talking now, distance-wise.
Ferrari's still in the lead. As some Ferrari fans there celebrating in front of the Max Verstappen Orange
Now listen,
Army.
Again, Max has got the warmed-up tyres. Charles Leclerc on the cold tyres.
That's true.
If Max gets DRS, we could see him charging right on turn 1 like we did back in lap sort of 20.
Would they completely warmed up off of 1 lap?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, he will have thrown it around and made sure.
Ryan Deasy's agreeing with you on the refueling, by the way. Say refueling as well.
Yeah, well, sorry, and we got interrupted by the pit stop, but the big difference is right now we've got a radio from Max Verstappen. Oh! He's raging, Robbie. He's just come on the radio and said, okay, this is now 2 times that you've told me to take it easy on the outlap. 2 times wrong, and it's cutting out there. He's absolutely raging. He's losing his head already, Robbie. And here comes Lewis now on the proper tyre, jumping up into 7th place.
Yep.
I'll try and get through it for a third time.
They obviously saw Lewis make the change onto that tyre and said...
Well, I think, to be honest, Perez...
that tyre's working, didn't it?
I think Perez was once he went fastest on track and stayed there on the medium, it was like, OK, Sergio Perez has got it right. So what I was saying about refuelling is, of course, if you don't refuel, what it means is now the cars have to run with a full tank of petrol. As the race goes on and they burn more petrol, the car becomes lighter and therefore faster. So when you're refueling in Formula 1, the cars are light. You just put a splash of fuel in, run round, come back in, another splash of fuel.
I used to like it like that, but obviously, I don't know, I think just the aesthetics of seeing fuel being put in all the time, I don't think they like that, do they?
No, there was danger to it. Now, Lewis Hamilton made light work of moving through the Alfa Romeos and Pierre Gasly, and look at this now, taking down the inside for turn 1, light work against Kevin Magnussen.
Up into 6th place, just beyond his teammate George Russell, who also has to make another stop. How much change to a car is allowed each season, says Dopamine MVWM.
So I'm not too sure on the rule changes this year, so we're all going to be learning together. Previously, you could use 5 engines throughout the year, and then I think it was only 3 gearboxes maybe. And after that, you start taking grid penalties for the race for changing them. But there are things that are exempt from counting almost, like you can upgrade and change certain parts of your car throughout the year. And there you go, just beautiful looking, clean move from Lewis there, up into 6th.
Jack Napier says Verstappen will be back. Well, he's driving a great race so far.
He's doing really well today.
There was a comment I was trying to find, but you know. Oh, this is an interesting one. South London.
Oh, here we go.
Loads of cars coming into the pits there.
Okay, Carlos Sainz is coming in. I think Perez is right behind him. Crucial that Ferrari get this right if they want to stay ahead of Perez. Red Bull are great with pit stops.
That's a great
that
pit
was
stop.
Rapid. 2.4
there by Ferrari.
and a 2.6 for Red Bull. They're going to come out right up against each other. And Charles Leclerc, bless him, is doing everything right, Robbie. 1.5 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen, just staying crucially out of the DRS zone.
South London's Finest B says, Robbie and Matt, do you find it strange why Lambo are not in F1, especially with the competitive nature between the two manufacturers? Why is there no Lamborghini in F1 as we've seen George Russell come into the pits?
Yeah, great question. Lamborghini is owned by the Volkswagen Group, so they're in there with Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen. We know that Porsche and Audi are going to be entering Formula One in the next couple of years, rumoured to be partnering with Red Bull and McLaren. I think it's, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's probably just a branding, like it's a marketing thing. The brand manager at Lamborghini don't want to do it. But yeah, they've never, as far as I know anyway, I don't think Lamborghini have ever fielded a team.
They do like Le Mans and that, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do other series. Whereas Ferrari, they are the only team that have always been in Formula One. They are a constant.
JDTV says, I'm a Perth Cooner. People here are unhappy with Daniel Ricciardo. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's and it's going to heap the pressure on him this year. It was one thing not performing last year with a decent car, but, you know, they've got a crap car this year, McLaren. And if the car's going to be bad, then, you know, Danny Rick's going to struggle. And
Pac-Man says, Robbie, can you ask Mrs. Doubtfire next to you why he's so biased?
That's another cracker.
Why is he so biased against Red Bull? And there's quite a few people who've been coming in here.
Yeah.
And there's some good racing going on there. Having a pop at you for having, you know, not being on the Red Bull side.
Yeah, listen, I think I reserve my right, as you guys should, Robbie and anybody else, to have your own opinions, but say that it doesn't matter who you follow. We're all here to just have a bit of fun together. I'm not the biggest Red Bull fan. I guess I've been a believer, Robbie, that Formula One's different, yeah? In football, you have your one team and then fuck everyone else. In Formula One, it's almost in reverse. It's almost like you have your villain, you pick your villain, that's fuck you, and you're happy to see everyone else do well. And for me, you know, my villain was Nico Rosberg for a long time against Lewis Hamilton. I think, you know, the new villain, it then became Vettel for a year only at Ferrari, but the villain since then has very much been Max Verstappen, Christian Horner at Red Bull. That's just for me, they're my villains. That takes nothing away from his ability, Christian Horner's ability as a team leader, but that's where I sit, Robbie.
And Shu Rahman says, if only Massey was here to help Max.
Well, quite. Quite. Charles Leclerc would have a 50-second penalty right now.
And we got to say, it's been without incident so far.
Yeah, it really has, actually. There's been nothing for VAR to even look at.
Mantol says, Matt's philosophy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly. Except Max.
Come on, Verstappen, says Samuel.
Yeah, he's looking good for second. So far, Robbie, our predictions, I said Leclerc to win, Max second, with some sort of delusional Lewis third. Yeah. I'm happy with that. You went for Max.
I went for
Max third.
Max third.
With a Ferrari
Sainz second.
Yeah.
And Leclerc third.
Okay.
All right. I'm slightly off at the moment, but I've got two of the. I've got the podium, just slightly wrong at the moment.
Very wrong, I'd say.
No, hold on. Yeah. Sainz is third.
Sainz a long way back though, isn't he? Long way.
Yeah,
I'm going to say I've got 1 and 2 bang on here, Robbie. I'm on the money right now.
No, but you haven't got all 3 on the podium.
I haven't. No, you're right.
I have.
You're right. You're right. I so wanted to be right about
Robbie,
Lewis.
are you excited to see Kulesvetsky play the beautiful game later? Also, Hamilton is English, not Finnish. Huh? When did we ever say he was Finnish?
Oh, as in like finished.
Bloody hell. I know I don't want to see Kulesvetsky play. No, he's a Tottenham player. Right. Oh,
now we've got a bit of wheel-to-wheel action here. Is that Mick Schumacher having a little go? Oh, no, it's K-Mac. Yeah, after the pit stops.
Lika says, I can agree with Matt. He goes, Tom Brady has always been my villain.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Red Bull. And Jack Napier says, Red Bull is the Chelsea of F1.
Oh.
This is Chelsea of F1.
I don't know. Aren't Chelsea supposedly in the mud?
Definitely. Wolfgang says, as a Mexican, I'm proud of Checo Perez.
Absolutely.
You should be. King Misogyny says, the Hamilton groupie with Don Robbie.
Oh, a little slip and slide from Gasly, and that's what lost him the place to Kevin Magnussen. Tell you something, K-Mag is really driving that Haas today, Robbie.
Yeah.
Once again, just dragging it back up towards 7th. God, if he finishes at 7th where he qualified, that would be incredible.
37 laps gone now. It is still Charles Leclerc out front in the Ferrari. Ferrari leads the F1 Grand Prix in Bahrain at the moment. Verstappen in second, Sainz in third at the moment. That is the podium as it stands. Leclerc, quite a distance between him and Verstappen.
Oh, here we go now. Come on, K-Mag. Here he goes, just making sure 7th is well and truly his. Come on, baby.
And MMCG says, I'm here for K-Mag and Haas.
Yeah.
How long since they got a point?
That's Marie, one of the off-circuit OG originals. Yeah, listen, I had people yesterday, Robbie, asking if we could incorporate the word Haas into off-circuit for a little while. I think everybody just feels really good seeing a team like Haas, you know, have been so shit for so long, coming through and being up there in the points.
And no Mazepan.
And no Mazepan. Although we are missing the spins, aren't we? A few spin-outs. It's not happening today.
The Spaniard says Matt is the... Robbie Savage of F1 punditry. Yeah, there's been no crashes, no spins at all.
Nothing.
Have you seen so far that there's more racing?
Is that a little bump? God, that was close.
Yes, that was very close. That was on Sainz.
Yeah, and that was a back marker there. That was he had no reason to be that close.
With Williams. The Alpines there. On their own, they seem to be just racing each other.
Yeah, the whole race. Yeah.
Just racing each other. Just pretty in pink.
I don't like how often, Robbie, the graphics have all changed on Sky F1 this year. I don't like how often they're removing the timing screen. I feel like that should stay the whole time. You know, so right now, okay, we're watching the Alpine battle, but usually you can then watch, you know, the things and the timing screens and see what's going on.
But they can run it on the bottom as well, couldn't they?
Of course they could, yeah. Use the screen, guys.
Lucas says, is there a schedule for planned future watch-alongs? Now, Luke, how we're going to be doing it this year is that obviously there are a lot of races that clash with very, very big football games as well. So how we're going to be doing it this year, you will not miss any F1 watch-alongs this season.
And that's a promise.
Right? They're either going to be here on the DR Sports channel. If there's a major game going on at the same time, we will have the F1 watch-along over on off-circuit, which of course is Matt's channel. So you are not going to miss any watch-along this season.
Come on.
Every single watch-along will be on off-circuit.
And that goes for qualifying as well. Any major F1 stuff, we're always up and running on off-circuit.
So you're not going to miss a race this year.
I'd say even, Luke, come and subscribe. Get yourself over.
Yeah, get to off-circuit right now and subscribe. You get all the notifications of all what's happening. And as I said, between DR Sports and off-circuit. And we've got loads of stuff planned on it. We're actually at the moment putting together a great new set. We've got some great things planned, you know, getting out and about with it.
Come on.
So all you F1 fans, keep it locked here.
Come on.
And on off-circuit. And MTMCG says, brilliant guys, I'm so happy about this. So that's great. I'm glad that you guys...
Come on, Marie. Love that.
We're going to have it completely covered. But that's great. Off-circuit or ace, says Mantolo. Norris has ruined my fantasy team. I need K-Mag
yes, he has.
For cheap, says Joe Burrows.
Yeah, listen, I threw him in. He was the cheapest driver this year, was Kevin Magnussen at $5.5 mil. I threw him straight in, and it has paid off.
Who's in your fantasy team?
So you've got to pick 5 drivers and 1 constructors for your 100 mil.
Right.
I'm not good at fantasy, Robbie, because generally I'm happy just spending massive money on the big names and then nothing anywhere else. I decided to avoid him this year, so I've gone with Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda. I've gone with Charles Leclerc at Ferrari, Sergio Perez at Red Bull, and George Russell in the Mercedes.
That's a good shout.
And my constructor is Ferrari.
Wow,
so I feel quietly sort of confident this year about it.
No Verstappen in there?
No Verstappen, because he's too expensive. So him and Lewis are 32 million each. Well, that would then be 2/3 of your budget. And then Mercedes or Red Bull's another 30 million. So that's 90 million out of your 100. You can't afford it. So I said, you know what? I'll have the midfield. We've got a league as well, guys. If you're playing Fantasy F1 at fantasyf1.com, it's totally free to play. There is an off-circuit league. You'll find the code for that league in our bio on Instagram. Come and join it by all means. Jerry Horner has got 3 teams in there. Somebody signed up as Jerry Horner. So
Jerry Horner,
she's playing in the off-circuit fantasy league, guys.
Brilliant.
Now, we're back where we were, Robbie. We're back with Hamilton in 5th place, Russell in 6th, both on that medium tyre. Sergio Perez has actually switched to the soft tyre now after his stop. He was already running the medium. I think this will be how it is now for the final 17 laps of this race.
Yeah, and Hamilton, I think when this race is finished, is going to be a bit annoyed that they tried that hard. Maybe if they would have sort of stuck it, he might have been able to have got his way.
Well, maybe if they'd have gone the medium tyre earlier, he might have been able to come through and do something. Now, we've no graphic to tell us, but that tells me that Sergio Perez must still be the fastest car from 20 laps ago on the medium tyre. That's very unusual.
Leclerc still out in front. Verstappen in 2nd, Sainz in 3rd, Perez in 4th, Hamilton in 5th, George Russell in 6th. So good race for George Russell. For his debut at the moment. You know, if you're coming in, up from 9th, and you're coming in just behind Hamilton,
Yeah.
You're doing your job.
I think I like to break this down by team as well, Robbie. So for me, when you talk about what's par, you know, like from the golfing term, what's par for the course here, you could argue for Mercedes that the Ferrari and the Red Bull are definitely better cars. So then the question becomes, okay, so then no other team should be ahead of Mercedes, and they're not right now. Mercedes are 5th and 6th. That's probably a true reflection of where they should be right now. They can't be too disappointed with that as things stand. Whereas if Kevin Magnussen can split them, then wow.
So they're going to have to do a lot of work on this car between now. And they haven't got a lot of time, have they? Because the next race is next week, Sunday.
Yeah, literally next Sunday, Saudi Arabia. And then don't forget, you know, with Australia, it means there's a lot of travel time thrown into getting that side of the world. So, yeah, not going to be an easy few months for Mercedes. Yeah, really not.
And ASG says, tell me a better love story than Matty and Tsunoda.
Exactly. I'll wait for that. He's so good. Robbie, and you didn't watch Drive to Survive, did you? He's actually just jumped up into 10th place. So episode 7, he comes on, and he's got a bit of stick for this because people are saying, well, hang on a minute, Yuki Tsunoda's taken a Formula 1 seat, and he comes across so ungrateful. But basically, the first thing they pull him up on is he's learned English from the mechanics around him. So he's like, fuck this cunt, fuck this guy, fuck, like that all the way through. And I think, okay, that's authentic, that's real, yeah? And what I loved about him more and more is they then show him with his personal trainer, and it cuts to him on camera, and he's like, I hate training. I can't be bothered being in the gym and working out. And I'm like, well, that's relatable. Like, I believe that. And then it cuts to him in a strategy meeting, Robbie, and he's sat there and they're trying to talk to him about the all the stats and where you could save time. He's yawning and he's like, I find it really boring. And I just look and go, you know what, in sport, the biggest issue for me is, let's take somebody like Steven Gerrard from back in the day, yeah? One of the most charismatic footballers on the pitch, and then put him in front of a camera, dull.
Yeah.
He's been so media trained that there's no personality anymore. He's just, oh, well, you know, we just like to kick the ball around. Yuki Tsunoda, it's so authentic. He's like, nah, fuck this guy, fuck that guy. I fucking hate working out. I hate this, I hate that. And I just look and go, I think we should be celebrating somebody who's being authentically themselves. So
that's how the love story began.
Absolutely right, yeah.
Ashel says, well done, Robbie and Matt, for diversifying the DR content offering. Keep up the great work. No worries. And Jack Napier says, Toto Wolff gonna cry in his Tesla tonight. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Now with 15 laps to go here, Robbie, I mean, it's looking like it's going to finish sort of in this order. We might see a change around in the points. I think the exciting bit's going to come now. Can Bottas jump Tsunoda and get into the top 10? Is Ocon going to hold it out for Alpine? Magnussen looks great in 7th, but top 6, Robbie, can you see it changing much?
I can't.
There's been nothing to suggest it's going to change, is it?
No, can't see And there hasn't been loads and loads of overtaking, like, you know.
No, I mean, our best battle really, Charles Leclerc and Max.
Yeah,
coming
Charles
back into
Leclerc
that was a good.
Max, that was a good little. But apart from that,
yeah,
all the overtaking we were promised and all that, I'm not really seeing that materialise yet.
Certainly not at the front. I would like to argue for them that the midfield has actually been pretty exciting. We've seen a lot of changing happening there, and oh dear, McLaren.
Ooh, McLaren.
What is going on? Slow stop there.
Slow. McLaren are in the mud at the moment.
Listen, they might have a slow car, Robbie, but there's no reason for that to be a slow pit stop as well.
Well, they may as well keep it all slow, I guess.
Dreadful from McLaren.
Absolutely terrible. How can they go down so badly after how well they did last year?
Running dead last, Lando Norris.
20th.
It's a shame, isn't it?
He won a Grand Prix last year.
Lando didn't in the end, did he? He was bloody close.
Oh,
though.
no, yeah, he was second, yeah.
Yeah, but Danny Rick did. Less degradation than Verstappen. That's great news for Leclerc. And look, 5 seconds now between Leclerc and Verstappen. Ferrari are well and truly, as dramatically bad as McLaren is going, Ferrari is dramatically brilliant this year at the top of the...
JDTV says, could we collaborate on future F1 content, Matty?
Oh, come on now, yeah.
Has he got a channel?
Yeah, reach out. Okay. Messages on Instagram. Let's do something, for sure. And
Ali says, people writing off Mercedes after race 1 know very little about F1.
Yeah, listen, oh my God, Verstappen, now there's a shock.
Oh.
We knew that he had degradation, and he's actually gone the soft tyre rather than the medium, Robbie, which, in my opinion, the medium's been the quick tyre. Now, so that's a free stop now for Perez, so he might as well come in and stop.
Oh, wow.
That's fascinating. That actually brings Mercedes a little bit back into the fold now.
Yeah.
And Robbie, look, his predictions looking on the money.
Yeah.
Ferrari 1-2, Max Verstappen 3rd. Hey, do you know what? You should have a Formula 1 show, you should really set your own Formula 1 show up.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's very interesting.
Now,
he was complaining about, well, they were just saying about
degradation. Now, it's up to Ferrari here. They've got to look. Max is going to be very fast on this soft tyre and putting him under pressure.
Do they come in and do the same thing?
Oh, interesting. What's it? Oh, dear. Max... I don't know if he's reporting a problem there. I didn't really pick it up. It was a little grainy.
You're now 10 seconds behind on Sainz. So... interesting. Max Verstappen drops down into 3rd. Leclerc and Sainz 1-2. Verstappen in 3rd, as I called it at the start of the race. But we are on the 44th lap. Other things can happen.
This is crazy. Now, we might be seeing Carlos Sainz coming into the pits to cover and Charles Leclerc staying out. Because this is it now. You know, you've got to react quickly. If you don't react now, it's too late. By the time Max makes up the time, it is too late.
And that is Sainz coming in.
So Carlos Sainz comes in to cover.
Coming in.
Oh dear, Verstappen's got something wrong with, I think, the settings on his steering wheel. He's not calm at all. He's in the ears, Robbie, on team radio. He's panicking. He's saying, you need to help me, help me.
JDTV says people here in Perth.
Oh my God, it could be terminal we're hearing, Robbie. Max Verstappen might have to come in and retire from this Grand Prix. And Lewis Hamilton is in the pit lane as well now. Something's happening, what we're seeing with the soft tyre.
It's not a great stop. That's not a great stop at all.
3 summit.
But he's up onto the soft tyres. No, medium tyre that was, wasn't it? Hamilton?
I'm not sure. We'll just get a glimpse. Is it red? Is it yellow?
I'm sure it was a medium he put on.
Now, this is interesting now. This is completely mixed up. What we thought was going to be a formality for the final 12 laps, Robbie, this has now really messed with the order a little bit.
Yeah, medium tyre. That's interesting.
No, soft tyre for Lewis. Yeah, Lewis has gone soft again. In fact, everybody that just stopped all went for the soft tyre. George Russell and Leclerc haven't stopped yet. They're staying on the medium for now. Oh, this is big.
Well, it's still Leclerc leading the Grand Prix, 45 laps gone. Verstappen in 2nd place. Sainz now in 3rd. He's dropped back to 3rd place. And Perez 4th, Russell 5th, Hamilton in 6th place. But will Russell come back in?
Oh!
And there's a crash.
We're on fire as well. They need to get him out of that car quickly.
The car is on fire.
That's Pierre Gasly.
That is Gasly. They're putting the fire out. That means that
Holy
there will be a halt to this race, surely.
Yeah.
Whilst they put the fire out.
Wow. I have to say, how quickly have they responded there? Straight in, get him out of the car.
Yeah. Brilliant the way they put that car out. They put the fire out really quickly.
Now, things will change just here. We're on a virtual safety car, which means everybody has to reduce the speed. It's almost a bit like they have to go cruise control now, Robbie. So the gaps should stay as they were between each of the cars, so no major advantage.
It's the AlphaTauri.
Oh, it's safety car. Oh, we're having a restart, Robbie. They're going to be bunched up again in a couple of laps' time.
Where is Massey? Where is Massey when you need him?
I think he's on the phone. I think he's been on the phone and said, if I were this, I'd help Red Bull out here.
Coming in. They've been told Leclerc to box.
Now, this is big. Everybody's going to get a free pit stop now. So George Russell with his free soft tyres. Charles Leclerc will get a soft tyre and still come out in the lead of this Grand Prix.
Very interesting. Could we see a change? Could we see a change? Not great for Leclerc, has been leading by quite far.
No, again, it's going to be another restart. Thankfully, he's able to at least match the tyre of Max. That's what went wrong in Abu Dhabi between Lewis and Max last year, Robbie, is Lewis was in the lead on an old tyre, but Max had the fresh set of soft tyres. Yeah. Thankfully, Charles Leclerc's learnt from that. He's come in and changed his tyres.
It's Pierre Gasly whose car...
And what happened there, then? It's just...
Car's caught fire. The engine.
Conked out, just bang. There, he's lost power. And yeah, complete, no power at all. You can see his steering wheel's now no longer lit up. He pulls to one side. And there's the smoke.
There's the smoke. And wow. That car was really was blazing, and he got out of it quick. Wow.
Okay, well done to Pierre Gasly. Thankfully, he's okay.
Hamilton podium incoming, says AC Slater.
I'm not so sure.
Overheated, apparently, says Andy Stobbs, is what he's saying.
Now,
suddenly the race goes mad, says
well, it
Jack
does.
Burton.
Now, Max Verstappen here is going to be grinning in that fucking Red Bull. He was 5 seconds behind. He was nowhere at the end of this Grand Prix. He's now got a fresh set of tyres and a 0-second gap. When they restart this race, he is going to be putting Charles Leclerc under pressure to try and take the win of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, Verstappen's going on his radio. Didn't you say he was moaning about a problem with his car?
Oh, and he is still moaning. He's saying now to his team, he's a bit calmer, but he's saying, please keep checking. What is it? What is wrong with the steering of this car? And look, he's trying to just have a little wiggle. It's a steering issue of some sort. Really difficult to diagnose.
Unless he's bluffing it. And which can never,
Well, yeah, that would be a crazy bluff right now.
I don't trust some of these guys, man. You know what I mean? You know, I don't trust some of them. You know what I mean? They'll be saying all these things and then next week, you know.
So top 6 is as it was before, top 7 even. Oh, wow, and Valtteri Bottas actually has been a winner there. Jumped up to 8th place, Robbie. That's a great recovery from him down in 14th.
Safety car is out. And it could be a double whammy for Matt because Verstappen could win this race.
Yeah, he really could.
And Manchester City have taken the lead against Southampton. It is 2-1 to Man City now in the FA Cup against Southampton.
Bastard.
So, Matty, your day is about to get worse.
It could.
Right?
Come on, Charles Leclerc, hold out. Hold out, Charles Leclerc. City can have it. Hold out, Charles Leclerc.
It was a penalty as well.
Oh, was it really as well?
Kevin De Bruyne. Matt in the mud when Verstappen wins, says Pac-Man.
Yeah, fair. Hey, you want to talk about, there's a football song. Na. The Strolls are in the mud, the Strolls are in the mud. 15 and 19, guys. Billions they've spent on that team.
Oh, dear.
And what's Max saying back on the radio?
Webber, as the Aussie pundit, is also very happy with Danny Rick.
Oh, interesting.
JDTV.
So they've just told him there,
reporting
we're keeping
all the way
you
from Perth, Australia.
They've just told Max on the radio, you're staying out. We don't think that this is a terminal issue with your steering. Stay out. We'll fix it after the race. Oh.
It's going to be really
By the
interesting
way,
now.
That's a great looking safety car as well. That red Mercedes.
Can I have that safety car?
Yeah, right.
I'll drive that safety car, please. Mind you, see the speed they drive those as well. There are ex-drivers who drive those as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So safety car. He's still out there. They're going to have to
Not the first time we've heard somebody in the lead of a Grand Prix say that. Charles Leclerc just now saying, can the safety car go faster, please? It needs to go faster.
Ain't they going to have to lift that car often?
Yeah, they've got to get it. They've got to clear the track. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they haven't moved it yet.
Oh yeah, and there you go. Look, yeah. Why is he going that slow? Actually,
it's Massey driving it.
Yeah, Massey backing him into Max.
Massey's in it. Yeah, I'll get you lot. You thought you could get rid of me? Yeah,
I'm going to back you into Max Verstappen, my old pal. I love that, Robbie. That's great.
And Perez one FY's got a better song for you, Matty. He says the Strolls get battered everywhere they go.
Yes.
The Strolls get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. He doesn't like the Strolls. F1 team showing Chelsea what they can't do. Drive around. Good show from you both, says Balder. Big up. And yeah, the safety car looks fire, says AC. That safety car.
Ain't it?
Look how shiny it is. I do want one of them. That looks nice, man. Oh.
What do they call that? It used to be called the SLK, that model. The SL, or they call it now, but it's that long nose. Yeah. It's like a 6-litre engine or something mad on the thing.
It's a nice, man.
Oh, wow, it's still smoking.
Oh, yeah. Will they be able to get off the track?
Flipping heck.
The laps are running down as well, you know.
Yeah, and it can finish. It was supposed to finish under a safety car in Abu Dhabi, Robbie.
Yeah.
I know Horner will be furious if it does.
How ironic would that be if this ends up finishing under a safety car? But they can't. Can't they move it whilst it's still on fire? I mean, what they seem to be taking. They normally get those. I mean, it's just
a crane, Just pick it up and put it on the other side of the barrier is all it needs. Or can they not even push it? You know, where he's parked it.
Well, I guess if
it's going to be too hot to touch, maybe.
Andrew S says, if you could go to any Grand Prix, which one would you choose?
Can I give you two answers, Robbie? And here's the two answers. Well, no, I'm saying ever or this year, because there's a slight difference for me. This year, the Miami Grand Prix. I think will be incredible, stunning.
Have a bit of Miami.
But I'm not so sure that.
Look how hot that was.
Melted the side of that car.
It's melted the side of the car.
So I got the Miami Grand Prix just because it's new and this year. But I've got a few up there. But for me, it's Baku, Azerbaijan. Yeah, it really is. An amazing track. It's the mixture, the perfect mix of like a city track like Monaco and a racetrack like Silverstone. They've got barriers close to the wall, they've got tight bits, they've got fast bits. There's always chaos there. I think it would be a really, really good one to go to.
Of Baku, man.
Yeah, fair. You've been there, Arsenal, have you?
I went to Baku when we got
Is it a nice city? What's it like as a place?
It was a very nice city, actually.
You get a cheap beer?
You can get a very cheap beer.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a nice city. But I would rather go to Monaco. I've been to both places. I can tell you, no disrespect to Baku, but Monaco is on a whole nother level.
Listen, Monaco's fantastic as a city.
You cannot get a cheap beer in Monaco.
No, you can't.
I can tell you that for 100% sure.
It is fantastic. I've been to Monaco a few times, loved it. Not been to the Grand Prix, but what I would say to you from a racing point of view, it's probably the best Saturday of the season, but it's one of the worst races in the season. Yeah,
because you can't overtake. But I'll tell you what, though, if you could watch it on a yacht.
I mean, yeah,
that'd be
special.
Cool,
I've had somebody reach out actually and say, listen, we're selling some tickets if you or any of your listeners are interested. And he sent me the catalogue and I thought, I'm not even going to bother sharing that. Robbie, it was
about $5,000.
It was 16 grand for a ticket. But you did get to sleep on that yacht Friday, Saturday, Sunday and do the full Grand Prix. But I'm like, 16 grand? Who's banging 16 grand out?
16 grand.
And that's one of you. You'd like to take a mate, wouldn't you? I'll take your missus or something, you know?
Monaco's expensive.
You could take me, Robbie, actually. That's how it could go, isn't it?
Right, as well. I think they're looking for me in Monaco as well.
Oh, come on.
Right, because we went to Monaco, watched a game of football, and there was this bar right on the sort of waterside.
Yeah, great.
And we all went in there and we had a dinner. There was about 8 of us. We had a dinner. We had something to drink. You know, it's really expensive with that.
Yeah. Especially by the marina. Yeah.
And everyone was sort of like, yeah, well, you know when you were with mates, and go, don't worry, I'll get that, right? And then we came out afterwards, and we were all sort of there, sort of sitting, and a couple of guys were having a cigarette, a couple of guys were having a drink outside. And then we was like, oh, look at the time. And because we played Monaco in the game. We said, we better head to the game. So we all headed to the game, yeah? When we got near to the stadium, somebody turned around out of the group that I was with and said, did you pay? And I said, no, I didn't pay. I thought you paid. And they said, no, you pay. I thought you paid.
Yeah,
so we didn't pay. We all walked out. We bought all that drink, because you know in their places sometimes they just write it down. They don't take it. So we bought a load of drink, we bought a load of food, right, in this sort of, I'm not going to say the name of the place, in case
you're wanted, basically.
In case it's still open, right?
Yeah, great.
And we all went to the game, right? And you know over there it's expensive. So, yeah, they're probably looking for me in Monaco.
Yeah, Don Robbie, wanted.
Wanted in Monaco. It weren't my fault. I thought the bill had been taken care
Now,
of.
here we go, Robbie. The safety car's coming in this lap.
Right,
we've got 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go. This has made it really interesting. That car looks nice, that safety car.
It's stunning, that safety car.
Does.
Now, Charles Leclerc is under a lot of pressure right now, Robbie. On the restart, it's up to him. Now, just a quick reminder for people, the safety car's come in now. There is a physical white line on the track. The rules apply all the way to the white line. So it's up to Charles Leclerc. Does he want to slow right down, back everybody up, and then go early? Does he want to wait until the white line? He really now, strategically, has got to come up with something that he thinks will give him the edge over Max Verstappen. Right, so here we go round the final few corners.
He's not slowing it down. It looks like he's going to get away.
No, here we go now. So watching him just backing off a little bit there.
Yeah. Strolls can even get battered by the safety car, says JDTV.
And you can see now the safety car's off in the distance. Charles Leclerc getting a last bit of warmth in his tyres before the restart. But can you see how far the safety car is now? That's Charles Leclerc saying, fuck you, on my time, not yours.
And you can see Verstappen there, he's stalking him.
Yeah, right on him now. He's thinking, you're not jumping me.
He's stalking him.
Remnants.
And there he goes.
And there he goes. He's gone early. He's gone really early. Wow, and look at the lead already.
Look at the pace on that car.
Bang, he's gone for it. And actually, he's backed Sainz right on the gearbox of Max Verstappen. Can Sainz make a move here?
Sainz is making a move on him. Trying to come up on the inside.
Max has got the inside line. No, Max has held it for now, but remember Charles Leclerc.
Brilliant driving there by Max Verstappen to hold off Sainz, but
Sainz has now have another opportunity on Max Verstappen here, just like Leclerc did earlier in the race. Come on,
he's trying to come up on him again. But nobody seems to be able to get past nobody at the moment.
And the Mercedes, crucially, have not gained anything there.
They haven't gained anything. It is still Leclerc in front.
Tsunoda's just taken Mick Schumacher out of the points there as well for 10th place.
Nobody's made any moves. Still, so it's Leclerc.
Lot of maturity.
In the lead, Verstappen, Sainz, Perez in 4th, Hamilton in 5th, George Russell in 6th, Magnussen in 7th, Bottas in 8th place, Ocon in 9th, and Tsunoda in 10th place at the moment.
What a great restart from the Ferrari.
6 laps left. It was a great restart.
Charles Leclerc doing absolutely everything he needed to do. Oh, and we're just seeing, yeah, a bit of battling again.
There was an overtake there by the Alpine on the Haas. Great driving by Leclerc, though, to hold off Verstappen.
And now already 1.6 seconds ahead of Max. Crucially, going early has really paid off for Charles Leclerc.
Can Sainz get Max Verstappen, though? That's going to be the interesting thing there. And they're showing the sort of mid-markers
fastest lap from Perez again.
There's Leclerc there, he's out in front.
And here we go. I'm just trying to see the gap between Lewis and Perez. And he's too far back.
Lewis is coming up on Perez, though. There.
And don't forget, there's no DRS right now, but I do expect DRS will come back on by lap 54, I reckon.
Alfa Romeo taking the Haas there. Oh, no, the Haas has held his line.
Schumacher holding his ground for 12.
Holding his line there.
I want them all get points today, Robbie. I'd like Schumacher and Tsunoda in the points, and Bottas and Magnussen. They can't all have it. Great work.
I'm interested to see if Sainz can get up close to Verstappen. It doesn't look quite like he will be able to. And Hamilton not really gaining on Perez either.
Pretty even gaps if you look at the timings. About a second between all of them.
Gaps.
But crucially, nearly 2 seconds now between Leclerc and Verstappen. He is flying in the lead. No way is he giving this one up.
No.
Oh, and Guan Yu Zhou's just taken Mick Schumacher for 12th. A late charge for him to try and get back in the points.
It's a great restart there by Charles Leclerc. And he's driven a brilliant race today. Oteng says, Leclerc, absolutely brilliant today. Fair play. And he has been. He's been
he really has.
5 laps to go of this Grand Prix. And Leclerc, bar a disaster at the moment, looks to be heading to the podium and first place.
Now here we go. DRS is turned on now, Robbie. So now we might be able to see Lewis mount a bit of an attack on Perez. He is within a second just.
I don't think he's got the pace to get past.
No, that's the thing. And there's Hamilton using a bit of DRS. There's the first zone to reel him in. He'll use the second to reel him in, and it's the third long straight where he's got his best chance of making a move. Lewis.
Yeah, what about Sainz though? Could he
Sainz,
get
I'm
close?
not so sure. No, I don't think he's close enough to have DRS actually. What an angle that is on Guan Yu Zhou's car there. It's inside his helmet.
I think they've got, if you notice on some of the helmets, they've got 3 cameras.
Oh, cool.
That's what I noticed today, like 3 cameras on their helmets. What you don't appreciate sometimes when you're watching these races is the hills on these courses.
Absolutely,
you know?
Yeah, Imola's got some really
some hills
steep,
and then,
nasty hills.
So some hills and then like with a drop down afterwards sometimes that are blind drop downs as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you really don't appreciate it. Sometimes when you see it on the TV, it just looks like it's all level, but it's not. They are very undulating tracks.
Now, Sainz is just teetering on the edge of DRS with Max. He's not quite got it. But Charles Leclerc, nearly 3 seconds again, just pushing that Ferrari well and truly ahead of the Red Bull. Look at that gap there. You can see it as we come down the main straight. Hamilton's opened his DRS, but you can see he's not closing the gap there on Sergio Perez.
Just doesn't have the pace. Doesn't have the pace to get past him. He wasn't bluffing when he said the cars would not have the pace.
Oh dear, it's my day about to get worse, Robbie.
Yeah, I've heard that City have gone 3-1 up apparently.
I'm happy for Charles Leclerc.
Don't forget today's watch along. It's been brought to you today by Manscaped. Just by watching this, you can get yourself up to 20% off. Just use the code DRS Sports. There's free shipping as well. Click the link in the description and go to www.manscaped.com. Oh,
Max is furious on his radio there. Didn't want to interrupt you, Robbie.
Sainz coming up right on Verstappen
Sainz on his gearbox. Come on, Carlos Sainz.
Sainz is right up on him.
Come on,
Sainz right up on him. And
now Max is going to have his elbows out.
And he's passed him.
Boom, go on.
Sainz has passed Max Verstappen. Can Verstappen come back at him?
Wow.
Carlos Sainz.
Ferrari 1-2.
And he's looking like my prediction at the start of the race is coming to fruition.
Spot on.
I don't only know all about football.
No.
I know all about F1 too.
Oh dear, Max is out of it.
Max is
There's
dropping
something
back.
majorly wrong.
Something's wrong with Verstappen's car.
He is going to be out of this Grand Prix,
by
Robbie.
Hamilton. He's been passed by Russell. He's out of the race. Verstappen is out of the race. He's pulling into the pits. He's pulling into his pits. There's something wrong with his car. He's out.
Robbie,
Wow.
fuck Southampton. This is fantastic. Max Verstappen. Yeah, listen, I'm not making any friends in there. And then others are thinking, go on, lad.
Max in the mud, says Otong. He's right.
Oh dear, oh dear.
The world champion is out.
He called it earlier.
2 laps to go. He was telling them there was a problem with his car. They told him to keep going. Hamilton now.
Now can Hamilton make the podium?
For a 3rd place.
Oh, imagine Hamilton
pushing for a 3rd place. He's right up. There's Verstappen.
Oh, it's
showing his
heartbreak
car
for Max.
in the pits. That's a real shame. With 2 laps to go, he must be absolutely gutted.
He must be bloody livid. Bless him.
Karma's a bitch, says Erica. Oh, that's a bit harsh.
It's very harsh, Robbie.
Ferrari,
you need to stay neutral
Cody
here.
Peters.
You stay neutral, so
I have stayed completely neutral.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
Wow, it just came alive there, Robbie. He reported the issues. We saw Carlos Sainz was already closing in, but at this point he's a sitting duck and he's out of the Grand Prix. By the time Carlos Sainz has got that move done, they were saying it's not a battery error, and they just he was shouting on his radio saying, "What did you do to my car? What did you do?" What did I tell you in the pre-week show about him losing his head? To me, doesn't keep his cool. Perez now.
And then Perez is on the radio. He's
losing power. Oh, fuck, Robbie.
He's losing power as well. So
this could be it. Red Bull in the mud.
Hamilton's right up on him. Hamilton's right up on him.
Come on, Lewis, now.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton right up on the
One
gearbox.
lap to go.
1 lap to go. Can Perez see that car home?
They're saying 2 laps to go. You've got this. They're willing him at the Red Bull garage to stay ahead. Now. Come on, Lewis Hamilton.
He seems to have a bit of pace now, though.
But Lewis, crucially, has got DRS. If he can put it to best advantage, at the end of that long straight, going into turn 1, Lewis should be able to get the move done here. Lewis fans, if you quit the chat, get back on this chat. Come on, Lewis.
He's right up underneath him. This would be significant for Lewis Hamilton in the...
But he is porpoising massively as Lewis. They're reporting again. He's bouncing and bouncing. So he's got to hang on. There goes the DRS open.
Can he make a move?
Come on, Lewis.
Seems to be far. Looks like to me like Perez has got too much of a distance on him for him to catch him at the moment.
Why is that Red Bull hemorrhaging power?
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
We need to know more about that.
I wonder what's causing that. On both cars.
Both cars.
Right at the end of the race.
Very unusual.
Very unusual, very. But he looks like he's going to be all right, though. Or can Lewis catch him now?
Come on, Lewis.
Here comes Lewis. I don't know, he might be too late.
Lewis.
We're moving into the final lap of the race. Final lap of the race. It's going to be a Ferrari 1-2, Leclerc
coming
and
down
Sainz.
Now to turn 1.
Who's going to get third place?
Can he dive? Can he make a move here, Robbie? This is it.
Here, Lewis is trying to make a move, but I don't think he's going to get him.
Whoa! Red Bull out! Red Bull out!
Oh my gosh, Perez has spun out of the race.
Lewis is on the podium.
He spun out of the race.
That's the final lap, Robbie.
Oh
the
my
final
gosh.
lap.
He spun out. Is the pressure on him, or was it the power he lost? But he spun out of the race.
Whoa.
Lewis Hamilton did well to negotiate getting around him after doing that.
Boom!
Spins out of the race. Hamilton's going to get third place. George Russell will get fourth place. He is out of the race. Charles Leclerc is going to win this. Sainz is going to get second. And Hamilton is going to get a podium. No Red Bulls, both Red Bulls out of the race. Who would have called this? This is what? We love F1. This is crazy.
Robbie! F1 wins, baby. It wins every time. What a year last year. And to come back and surprise us like this in race 1. I mean, are Drive to Survive directors involved in writing the script for Formula 1? I'm starting to think they maybe are.
Absolutely incredible. But Leclerc is going to come through.
Charles Leclerc.
And here is it. Leclerc wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's the Ferrari 1-2. I called it. Sainz in second place. And Lewis Hamilton in third place, an unlikely podium for him.
Can you believe it?
In fourth place, George Russell. Fourth place for George Russell as well. The mechanics and staff of Ferrari are celebrating. Brilliant for Ferrari, 1-2. An absolute disaster for Christian Horner and Red Bull. Both cars failing to finish. Matty, what has gone on?
I am beaming.
What's just happened?
Cheek to cheek, Robbie. What an end to this Grand Prix. Mercedes, we know, have got a long road ahead of them. This is masking, really, a lot of problems for them this year. But the fact that Lewis was able to come through and get third place shows, I'm going to say it, Robbie. What did I say at the start of this race? Lewis Hamilton can get third place today. It needed some madness to happen, but that is huge in a car that isn't good enough to be up on the podium and getting fourth place with George Russell. Bottas wasn't doing that for us last year. He wasn't up there with Lewis getting the most out of that car. But let me rightly and truly put the focus back on Ferrari. A 1-2. You called it. I mean, wow.
Great to see the Ferraris back up there. It's great for the sport. Ali Jones says, never disrespect the name of Lewis Hamilton. Red Bull in a spliff, says Rico. And why is it karma? Why is this karma? Because Verstappen is the world champion. And Salt says, Jason, I can't believe the end of that race. Where did that come from?
That's fucking brilliant.
Formula One is crazy.
It is crazy, Robbie. You know, it's laughable. People talk about, F1, same people this, same people that, where's the excitement? What a race. And it goes to show, you've got to take it for the full race. Yes, there were moments in the middle where we thought, this is a done deal, top 6 ain't changing, but look how much it drastically changed at the end.
Mukhtar saying a steering fault for Red Bull. Yeah. That's what... And he spins out as well. So
a steering fault and then a power issue, it seemed. So Red Bull have got a lot. This is a massive worry now.
Red Bull that was so reliable last year.
Absolutely. Now, your super chat here, JDTV has quite correctly called out 3 of the 4 Red Bull powered cars out of this race with a power issue. Pierre Gasly bursting into flames earlier on, then Max, then Perez in the final laps, all with power issues. Only Yuki Tsunoda managed to carry that Red Bull engine all the way through to the end. Red Bull fans were, I think you were all resting on your laurels thinking this is going to be, you know, you and Ferrari this year. That is a massive red flag, Robbie. That is an issue that they're going to have to get back to Milton Keynes down near your gaff and figure that out before next weekend. They are blowing up 3 out of 4 cars today.
Absolutely incredible. Let's give you the top 10 rundown. Well, let's give you the full rundown. Leclerc is the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix. His car's just pulled in there. He's just taking the steering wheel off. He's just getting out of the car. He will celebrate with all of the Ferrari team. Great to see him back on the podium. As I said last time he was on, there he is on top of that car celebrating. Those Italian flags and those Ferrari flags are waving, and it's always a great vibe when they win a race. In second place, Sainz in the other Ferrari, a Ferrari 1-2. Lewis Hamilton, unlikely, should I say, podium for him. In third place, George Russell in fourth, Magnussen fifth. Wow. Bottas, great drive by him. Yeah. Coming in sixth. Ocon in seventh. Tsunoda eighth. Alonso in ninth. Good drive by him. Guanyu. 10th.
Points. Wow, so that's the last points position goes to a rookie.
Yep.
Wow,
Mick Schumacher in 10th, Stroll in 12th, Albon 13th, Daniel Ricciardo 14th, Lando Norris all the way down in 15th in the McLaren, Latifi in 16th, Hülkenberg in 17th. No finish for Perez, Gasly and Max Verstappen. Unbelievable, but it's Charles Leclerc who fought off Verstappen for much of that race.
Have a look at your super chat.
Who wins the Grand Prix.
That is fantastic.
Go back to the super chat. You can't spell Red Bull without 2 L's. Says, who was that from? KCD. Brilliant one, brilliant one.
Great comment.
2 L's from them. No, 3 L's because
I mean 3 L's.
You know, City are beating Southampton 4-1.
Well, listen, have it, City, have it. What a Grand Prix result, Robbie. Great to see Guanyu Zhou, the rookie, getting in on the points, 10th place there. I think we're in for a really exciting midfield battle. You know, last year, quite rightly, and we got a bit of stick on this show, at least, with on the Don Robbie channel, for focusing too much on the Max and Lewis stuff. Well, you know, let me tell you this year, this is not a 2-horse race. We have got so much to talk about on tonight's show. I'm gassed, by the way. I know it's a shameless plug, this. Robbie is sticking around. We'll be doing the usual off-circuit show, breaking down the highlights, the lowlights, and everything in between.
Don't forget to subscribe to Off-Circuit.
And we've got so much to talk about here and break down.
Dinesh says karma for Red Bull after last season. A lot of people saying that.
Yeah.
I don't think Red Bull will recover till next week. That is a big problem because the races come thick and fast. Next race,
absolutely,
next week.
Yes. There's an issue for Red Bull
and
here.
There's some sort of issue.
Yeah, 3 or 4 power failures. You know, this is serious now. You know, Christian Horner is going to be very, very worried about that. There's going to be a lot of sleepless nights going into this week. You've got to be able to get your car to the end of the Grand Prix at full performance, and that's something that they've not managed to do with 3 out of the 4 cars. On the flip side, Ferrari are going to rest easy this week. The Haases, the Alfa Romeos, and the 2 Ferraris scoring points today. Absolutely incredible. In fact, only one of the 6 Ferrari-powered cars didn't score points today, and that's Mick Schumacher, who only just missed out there. So
there's Charles Leclerc there.
Amazing.
Looking very happy. He got the Richard Mille watch on as well, who sponsored him.
Oh, he gets it.
He's looking fly. And that car looks beautiful, and that is a fantastic win by him. And he drove brilliantly, mate.
So mature from him. We're not talking about somebody who wins many Grand Prix, Robbie. So for him to take pole position, and I mean, we'll get into this more in detail in the show, but how he fought Max not once but twice for the race lead halfway through that race just showed us, wow, what a superstar this guy's going to be. Future world champion for me.
Driver of the day, Guangzhou. Rookie deserves it.
I mean, yeah, he's going to be up there.
Straight in there with the points. I'd give Leclerc. I mean, I know, he's on his debut. Sainz had a good race as well.
Sainz had a great race. Listen, Lewis Hamilton did not give up to end up in 3rd place after that horrible restart on the hard tyre. Bottas, qualified in 6th, found himself down in 14th, all the way back up to 6th place. Kevin Magnussen, there's so many people that we're going to be able to talk about for driving the day.
Andrew S says Horner to blame Toto for the power issues.
Yeah, could be right there.
Ali Jones says, big up Lewis, the man is a class driver.
Absolutely.
And Charles's hard work has paid off, says Mukhtar. Wow. I still can't believe how that race ended up. Only Formula One, you cruise into a win.
It's so true.
And then all of a sudden, it's a bit like last year, isn't it?
Yeah.
But apart from this year, it wasn't a manufactured ending.
Exactly.
And
it's Formula One.
You cruise into a victory, car catches fire, and actually, that's a Red Bull engine, the same engine as a Red Bull, as you said, and all the Red Bulls after that, out of the race.
Capitulated, 3 out. Well, apart from Yuki Tsunoda, who managed to lock in 8th place.
It's mad.
Good race from him. Robbie, I want to revisit our predictions then. I'm going to call it a draw here. I'll tell you for why. So you've gone... You've gone Leclerc, Sainz, Max. You've got 2 out of 3, right? I've gone for Lewis 3rd, Leclerc win, with, Max in the middle. So I've got 2 out of 3 as well.
But I say I'd win because I got the top 2.
Oh, I see. Really?
So I got the top 2.
What, are you winning on goal difference? Is that what you're saying?
I'm winning.
Outrageous,
on the head-to-head.
But not the Lewis shout from all the way from 5th in that terrible car up there. That's got to count for something. But all right, I'm conceding there, am I then? I've lost on goal difference. Outrageous.
Big up off circuit. Big up Don Robbie, says Uncle Iro. Sainz is my ASP, says Sainz, my man, 2nd. I told you, Robbie, I'm a lad. I'm a Scouser lad. We don't lose, lad. We don't lose, lad. Paddy the Paddy. Scousers don't lose.
It's true.
Scousers don't get knocked out. I guess Red Bull are regretting now without Honda. That's another factor, JDTV.
It is.
No Honda now.
Honda is still involved.
And then Lewis Hamilton there, they're talking to him now. Just interviewing him, and you can see.
We don't need to hear this. I can tell you right now. Just thanks to everyone back in the factory. Still, we rise. We don't give up. We never give up, fam. The car's not where we want it to be, but still, we fight on.
But he must be. You can see he's surprised to be up on that podium.
Yeah,
he really is. And
now, what did I say to you midweek? We'll get into this later, but what I was saying to you about Max Verstappen this year and the mental strength. Now, it hasn't gone his way in race 1. There's an issue with the car. He's got that number 1 on there. He's got that massive paycheck. There's a lot of pressure on him now going into Saudi Arabia. And I called he's not going to do well this race and the 2nd race. And that, for me, could be the undoing of Max Verstappen. Max fans, I know you'll be saying, nah, he'll fight back. And I hope you're right. From a championship point of view, Max needs to be up there and competing, but he's going to be very pent up and frustrated after how that's gone today.
Ilu says George has to be happy with points and finishing 4th. George Russell.
Yeah, massively. From 9th place. And let's not forget, in that Mercedes, that Mercedes is like last year's Ferrari, or last year's McLaren, you could say. It's the 3rd best car on the grid. Really good performance from him.
K-Mag is the driver of the day, according to Ice Cold Art. That's his driver of the day.
Big performance.
I'd go Leclerc, man. I think he nailed it today. Brilliant drive by him.
Well, we're going to have a big debate about it on the off-circuit show later, because actually there is such a good argument for so many people today for driver of the day.
Toto Wolff there, very, very happy.
Yeah, it does look a bit more relaxed.
But what a brilliant race for Ferrari, and what a great start to the F1 season.
Massive,
As
Robbie.
I said to you guys before, every single race, all qualifying, we'll be doing a watch-along to. If you don't find it here on DR Sports, it will be on Off Circuit. We're teaming up with Off Circuit this year to bring you every single race. So if you love your F1, Don't forget to subscribe to Off Circuit right now. The link is in the description. Also, don't forget, get 20% off all Manscaped stuff like this here. Use the code DR Sports, right? And you can get up to 20% off. Big offer this. The link is in the description. Make sure you click that. And they're getting ready to present the prizes on the podium.
Massive. To see Ferrari up there again, Robbie, 1 and 2, locking it out, it's awesome. And, you know, it's not long now till we're in Italy. We're at Imola at the end of April, Robbie. You know, we're going to see some scenes there if Ferrari manage to keep this form up.
The Slayer says, what the hell's happened to McLaren?
Oh, mate.
As Lewis Hamilton comes onto the podium.
They have fallen off a cliff. McLaren didn't show anything today, Robbie. I mean, qualified 18th and 13th, and I think they've both finished in the bottom 5, haven't they? When we take the DNFs out of there. Horrendous day at the office for them.
Joe Burrow says, excellent show today, guys.
Come on.
So thank you very much
Joe.
for that. Unlucky Max says, Noz, he was very unlucky, and mate, how unlucky is that?
I mean, awful.
You've got 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and did everything right in this race. Challenged twice for the race lead, got the undercut the first time round, you know, tried different things to try and do that, but stayed as close as he could to Charles Leclerc. Yeah, for it to end the way it did for him, genuinely, all banter and jokes aside, that's a heartbreaker that, you know, it's going to be tough for anybody to get over that.
JDT says, Horder and Toss now checking their car engines. I mean, as I said, they've got a week to get together.
Not even, you know, we talk
not even
3-4 days, you know, and they've got to get the car first. So they'll be moving the car tonight from here to Saudi Arabia. They'll be setting up the garages Monday, so maybe Tuesday. So they're only maybe going to get Wednesday, Thursday to be able to do anything to that car, to have a look at it.
The American brother says Verstappen doesn't have the mental fortitude to handle it. I think he does. I think he does.
I'm not so sure. I'm with him on that. They've been my thoughts since pre-season. You know,
did say that in the show that we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were predicting he'll finish 4th this season, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, and that's because, you know, for me, it's how he handles it. And all the way through this race, I did have the benefit of the headphones. We're going to try and make sure we've both got that in the future. But Max Verstappen was panicking on the team radio all the way through. He's not happy. He's aggressive. He's having a bit of a go. He's panicking. That's not something that you hear from somebody who's in control, who's in charge. You know, emotionally.
Mr. Father says, yes, Mamma Mia, Gran Forza Ferrari, Italian national anthem Grande.
Come on, the Tifosi, we party now. It's a big, big one for the Italian fans, the Tifosi.
Yeah, fantastic to see Ferrari back on the podium. As I said, a 1-2 for Ferrari. This is what we want to see this year. We don't want to just see a season of just, you know, 2 cars and 2 drivers battling it out. We want to see other people come into play, and that's what we're seeing right now. And Ferrari have put down a big statement at the start of this season by winning the Bahrain Grand Prix.
And coming second. You know, 1 and 2, it's incredible. We talk about the points haul, you know, and we said earlier, okay, rather than predicting who's going to win it, who's going to score the most points as a team today? And, well, Ferrari 1 and 2, Mercedes 3 and 4. Really good start to the season for both sets of teams there.
Is this your brother here, Matty? Mark Harper Reeves, he says, can't stand Red Bull since Vettel, he says, I hate Horner. Always seems to want to bring his ball home with him. He goes, this result is amazing.
Yeah, there's a bit of a community of people like that, I think, of, you know, they're either the villains or the heroes, you know, the Red Bull team. And I think Mercedes is then the same. You either hate Hamilton and Wolff or you love them. There's not many people that feel sort of neutral about it.
That's always the case with winners.
Of course it is.
They're winners.
Yeah, absolutely, you know? Right.
That's a nice trophy there
come on,
that Leclerc holds up. Leclerc holding up the trophy.
Taking it back to Monaco.
Taking it back to Monaco, where off the drivers live.
Yeah, but not many. You don't see that Monaco flag on the top step like that.
Yeah, he's actually from Monaco.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing.
JDTV says, same thing. Something ain't right with the Mercedes and Red Bull's engines today. They will improve. Listen. It's still early in the season. Still early.
One thing I would say, we came into this race worried about how the Mercedes engine was performing, but there seems to be a general feeling that they will fix it over time. But Red Bull, nobody saw that coming. Red Bull supposedly had a very strong car, almost as strong as the Ferrari, perhaps. For them to have 3 out of 4 retiring with power issues, that is a massive worry for Red Bull. That's not in the script at all.
Okay, well, listen, we're going to wrap it up now as the drivers are up on the podium. Congratulations once again going out to Charles Leclerc. He has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. Congratulations going out to him. Carlos Sainz in second in the other Ferrari, and Lewis Hamilton came in third place. Don't forget, today's watch along has been brought to you today by Manscaped.
Here it is.
Here it is. There's the goodies. You want to get yourself that package. All you got to do is click a link in the description and you can get up to 20% off. That's the Lawnmower 4.0, right? And use the code DRS Sports, right? And you can get yourself, it's got the waterproof technology, the wireless charging, skin safe.
Skin safe.
Skin safe
I know what you're saying.
And it lasts up to 90 minutes on a single charge. Also the ball deodorant to keep them things fresh.
Oh, come on now.
Link is in the description. Get involved with that right now. Don't forget, subscribe right now as well to Off Circuit. Do not miss a Grand Prix this season. Don't miss any of them. If it's not here on DR Sports, it will be on Off Circuit with Matty. I'm going to be on Matty's channel later on, talking about today's Grand Prix, so make sure you check that out as well. But thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to DR Sports. We're this close to 200,000 subscribers. Get us over the line.
Come on.
Just like how Charles Leclerc did today. Thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, fam.